welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted podcast. Me, Adam Hunter. I'm here with CB Gold.
What's up, guys?
He's got a cool little mohawk thing going. I like it. We got Vinc Pichel coming in. We got a great show. We got Tatiana Suarez, undefeated fighter, Ultimate Fighter champion. She's a beast. I'm calling it now. She's the next champion. She's the girl that's going to dethrone Rose if Rose gets past Joanna her next fight, if they have the rematch. Also, we have Gerald Harris. We just did a comedy show together in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He sold it out. Got a standing ovation. He killed it. And my man over here, Andrew Montanez.
Thanks for having me.
Just got back from Glory. Commentating,
killing it.
First kickboxing. Yeah, I was. You know, your mom follows me on Facebook now.
She follows all my friends.
I know, and she's always liking all the pictures. I'm like,
yeah.
I thought that was your girlfriend. I'm like, oh, I guess she's into older women. And then I realized you guys weren't married.
My mom's kind of young looking.
Yeah, she is kind of young looking. She's not bad. Anyway, listen, people. When you find yourself in need, trust in speedweed.com. Overnight delivery to over 1,088 cities across California. Find everything with one quick stop. Flour, edibles, concentrate, topicals, vapes, and more. Sign up and use the code ROASTED for $10 off orders, over $100 at speedweed.com. I'm telling you, they have these like marijuana CBD mints now that like I took 2 of them. I think I had the best, most funniest conversation with my wife ever. I laughed at everything, and she was like, "Oh my God, this is the most fun we've had in years." I'm like, "Thank you, Speedweed, for those mints." But yeah, I've had a crazy last couple weeks. So last Tuesday at the Dime Bar, I go to the Dime, and this adult film actress, August Ames, you ever hear her?
No.
Very, very famous August, beautiful, hot. And I knew her when she was like 19 years old, and I was in a relationship. And she was like, "Oh, I have a crush on you." And she was 19. That's just too young. I know some guys are into 19-year-olds. I don't know. At the time, I was 30-something. I just can't. I don't know. Anyway, I'm married now, but I do the show at the Dime Bar, and it's going great. And she's in the crowd, dying laughing. And I said something about anal sex or something, and she's like, "Oh, I love anal, but my husband won't let me do it," or something. Like, so starts talking. I'm like, "Yeah, well, that's because you haven't met me," or something. And she's like, "Let's go right now and do it in the bathroom." Like,
whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's exactly what was the crowd's response. They were like, "Oh," right? And then
then how many drinks did guys buy her right after that?
Yeah, the people that weren't even at the bar. People were just sending over drinks from
from canters.
Yeah, from canters. The whole and the thing was, but I'm like, of course. First of all, I think she was just playing around, but that never happens to me when I'm single. And never had like this 23-year-old porn star say, "Hey, take me in the bathroom at the Dime Bar." That has never happened. But of course, it's like Chris Rock said, you finally get in a relationship and then every girls call you up. Me and my friends are having a dick sucking contest. We want you to be the judge. Like that you never got that call when you were single. Ever.
It's that ring on your finger.
I think that's honestly, I think now that I'm married, I think girls see the ring. They know that okay, there's a girl who's willing to be with you, forever. And B, a lot of these girls have gotten cheated on in the past. And they're still angry about that, and they want to be the other girl. That's sort of an evil turn-on to them. And also, if you cheat on your wife with a girl, they are that much more hot.
It's like an empowerment to them.
It's also you're adding, like, if they're an 8, now they're a 10. It's like you're adding points to like how hot they are. And it's fucked up because guys aren't really like that. Guys aren't like, "Oh, there's a married chick. If she bangs me, that means that like I'm really important." Like no. By the way, Vinc Pichel's coming in. But so that I think it's really more about them than anyone else. So that happened at the Dime Bar. By the way, Vinc Pichel's coming in. I was just saying.
What's up, motherfuckers?
How are you, man?
Good. How are you?
Good. I was just saying I was at the Dime Bar and I'm on stage last week, and there was this porn chick in the crowd, this hot August Ames, and I said something to her, and she's like,
"Really?"
And she was like, "Let's go right now. And like, let's go have sex in the bathroom." And everyone's like, "Ooh!" And I'm like, "Of course." Now that I'm married, like, that never ever happens when. And I think it's because women see a married guy, and they're like, if he hooks up with me, I am that much more attractive.
They want something they can't have.
That or like girls want. They feel prettier. They feel, wow, this guy's willing to risk his marriage for me. I must be pretty hot.
I'm hot. I can home wreck.
It's all about them. It's really all about them. Yeah. So anyway, so that was on Tuesday night. And of course, I didn't have sex with her in the bathroom or but
or anywhere else.
But then,
damn, I missed on Tuesday.
Yeah, of course. And then Wednesday night, I went to go see Guns N' Roses. By the way, and
how was that?
People are talking all this shit about Guns N' Roses. Axl lost his voice. They put on a 4-hour show. no opening act,
4 hours,
and blew the roof off. It was. What I don't get is this, right? The only question is this: Axel's still fat and out of shape, right? How does he do cardio?
TV show still.
How does he do cardio for 4 hours a night and still stay fat? I don't understand. Like, if I'm running around stage for 4 hours a night, I think I'm going to get ripped or in better shape. What is he eating?
Liquid diet?
I don't know what he's doing, but I'm telling you, he hit every note. He sang like a fucking champ. Slash was awesome. Duff was awesome. I highly recommend it. Guns N' Roses still has it. And it's a shame, though, also, because, that was when music, when CDs came out, it was a big deal. And you could hear
I still have CDs.
You really? Of course you do. But but now with, like, Spotify and, iTunes and whatever, Pandora, everyone just wants that one hit or two hits, and people don't get a whole CD. They don't get a whole. There's no more music videos.
It's too easy to be picky.
I think they're the last biggest band to come out. Like, can you name a bigger band than Guns N' Roses? Maybe U2. U2 would be a bigger band than Guns N' Roses, but I can't think of a bigger band. No, but they were before Guns. I'm saying since Guns N' Roses. Since Guns N' Roses, what band is? Please, if you're listening to the podcast,
and we're talking actual rock bands. We're not talking like One Direction or something stupid like
or
that.
like a garage band.
Those are obviously bigger, so it's like that.
I don't think so. I think I think over time. I mean, Guns N' Roses was big in in the 80s, and now it's 2017, and they're still selling out. I don't think One Direction in 30 years from now is going to sell at the Forum. I just don't. I don't see it.
No.
I don't see it.
I think one of the other issues with music right now is there's artists out there that just want to be a one-hit wonder. They're like, I want to make $10 million off one hit and never work again on
Me
my
too.
life.
I'm actually one of them. Actually.
Yeah, I agree. Shit.
But
they don't strive like Guns N' Roses or like Aerosmith to be around for 40 straight years, touring all the time, and killing it.
Axl killed it. I loved it. And there were all these like hot cougars there, that you know were hot, even way hotter back in the day.
I know.
I loved it. So then on Thursday night, I did a show at this. It was like a bar, like a black bar. A lot of black people were in this bar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not like
the
that.
Bar's black or like the people there?
It was a pretty. I don't know where it was.
Was it jail?
It was like Inglewood or something, right? So I go there and I can tell it's gonna be a fun room, but they're just talking, And I have this whole new bit about like Soul Swipe, which is like Tinder for black people. It's called. I swear to God, it's called Soul Swipe.
Is that real? Or
I swear you can download it.
Like your farm? What is it?
No,
Farmers?
No, Farmers Only. It's a real thing called Soul Swipe, but it's even better because when you actually swipe right, it's like, oh hell no, oh hell no, oh hell no,
outta here.
and then you swipe left. It's like, okay,
all right. Hey, baby girl.
So that bit killed. But there was this comic that went on before me. And a black comic, and he was up there, and he was kind of bombing. He just was like, it was a newer comic, fine, and it was okay. They weren't really listening. It was one of those shows where if you didn't get them, they were just going to talk. And then afterwards, he goes, and there's a bar right next to the stage, and I'm on stage, and he's talking to people while I'm on fucking stage. And I'm like, bro, didn't you just go on? Like, what other fucking occupation? Can you imagine, like in the UFC, a guy loses and then comes back into your fight and then it just starts distracting you while you're
outside the cage and shit?
Or inside the cage.
Or inside?
Not even, like,
it's like WWE run-ins and shit.
Is that what they do?
Like an interference type.
They just come in and bust on shit.
Yeah, come in with a chair like, I lost, so fuck you.
It's so annoying. That's annoying. And then people with their cameras now, everyone videotapes your show, which is hard because you could say the wrong joke or you could edit it to make you look like an asshole, or a racist or that or blah, blah, blah. But there's no winning. Because if I say, hey, put the camera down, I'm an asshole. People hate me automatically.
Yeah, but I wouldn't care about that kind of stuff because I think a lot of comics say a lot of asshole things, but that's what makes them funny.
Well, that's the thing now. I'm like hoping that it goes viral. I'm like, absolutely, yeah, go ahead. Please.
Just let it free.
So then I did a show in Mesquite, Nevada, Friday night, and that was awesome. It was packed. It was Tough Enough was the next night. So there was a lot of fighters there, but weigh-ins and stuff. There was one girl that was deaf, actually, a deaf fighter chick. She's like 2-3 from Minnesota, and her opponent missed weight. I'm like, how do you miss weight against a deaf? Like, I don't know. But anyway, so
was Matt Hamill her cornerman?
No, Matt Hamill was not her cornerman. But anyway, so then I do a show, and there was a guy in the front, a camera guy, who was laughing his ass off, older guy. And afterwards, he's like, "Hey man, my wife died last month, and this was the most I've laughed. First time I laughed since. I can't thank you enough." The guy hugged me and I'm like, "Man, this is why I do this shit. This is it."
He posted everywhere too. He was all over the place, and that's something that it really makes you feel special to kind of you get isolated out as the one person that like really cheered him up, because that's just such a heartbreaking experience.
Well, that's the high, and then I'll tell you the low. All right.
We gotta go the other way.
The low was 12 hours later, okay? Because
12 hours
not
later.
even. It was 20 hours later.
Turnaround.
So I go to do a show. I got booked at a Christmas party on the way back from Mesquite. And it was at a car dealership, and it was their Christmas party in like Camarillo, Lincoln or something, right? It wasn't Lincoln. It was. So I go there, and there's no stage, no lights or anything. And I asked a lady, I'm like, "Hey, listen, is it okay if what's the deal with language?" She goes, just make them have fun. We're a car dealership. They need to have fun. He goes, just whatever. So, okay, great, right? So I go up there. They don't even give me an intro. They go, "Hey, everybody, surprise this year. We're not having a magician. Instead, we have a comic." So then I go out there, and and I would say half the crowd spoke English, maybe. And then I go out there.
The other half was the service bay.
I go out there, and the mic cuts out every joke. Every joke, there was no mic check. All right, and there's no.
They had someone censoring you.
So I go out there, and like people were like, "Do your act in Spanish." Like that's what I figured they didn't speak English when they were asking me to do it in Spanish, right? And I'm making tables laugh. Certain pockets are laughing, right? But then there's then all of a sudden this guy walks up to me. I finally am getting them. He goes, "Hey man, can you tone it down?" The guy in charge, another guy. So I'm like, "This guy said to tone it down, right?" So then he gets up and leaves, and then I'm to start making fun of people. It's not going very well. So then. Another guy comes up to me. He goes, "Hey, we don't want to offend people." I go, "Is anyone here offended? Raise your hand." No one was offended. I go, "Well, listen, we have Captain Non-Offense here is here to tell." And then the guy's like, "Listen, I'll pay you to leave." He goes.
Oh my God.
He goes.
Ask him how much.
He goes. "Don't worry." He's trying to negotiate with me to leave the show while I'm during the show. So I'm like, fine. He's like, "I want you to make your next show, right?" I'm like, okay. So then I end up leaving, and I'm just like, at that point, I'm driving home like, fuck, what am I doing with my life? This is just
life decisions.
Yeah. So then I get to the Laugh Factory. I see Vince. Vince is there. Fucking place is sold out. George, all these comics are on. I go up there. I fucking kill it up front.
That was a good night, actually. I feel like every comic was there except for the Jersey Shore guy. He was still pretty funny, but he was like the last part of the night for me.
It was Brett Ernst, but like he went on. He's usually hilarious. Problem was that like they were holding over the show, so like that was the problem.
Yeah.
It's like he went on like 7th, and at that time people were just leaving. But
the show started pretty late.
Yeah. But it was actually like, I'm like, oh, thank God I had that show first and not the reverse. Otherwise, I'd be on like suicide watch. I mean, there have been so many times though as a comic. Like I remember one time I did a Christmas party and they had like a prayer before the show, and I'm like, oh, this is. It was at a farm, and I was getting booed and mooed. The fucking it was booed and mooed. That was terrible. There was a time I did a temple where the rabbi took my microphone from me from the stage because they were like, I did comedy for a month at that point. They're like, don't curse. So I did a joke where kids used to call me up and be like, dumb, because I stuttered, and I was like, fuck you, right? And then like I thought if I stuttered the fuck, it'd be okay, but the rabbi didn't think so he grabbed it. I mean, it's not the first time I've been, but I was like, but it never gets easier. And then I flew to Tulsa to do a show with Gerald Harris. It was an all black, not all black, mostly black crowd. Gerald Harris fucking murdered it. He did his. I hosted it. It was like this special. He was recording a special. And then afterwards, these 2 girls at the after party, hot black twins, right? They were like, "Oh, we're twins." I'm like, "Oh." Then they were like, "What are you doing later?"
I don't think I've ever ran into like a hot black pair of twins.
Well, I don't think they were twins. They were kidding, but I believed them because they kind of look alike. So then of course I left. But I'm like, fuck. This is once again. When do I get black fucking twins that want to have threesomes?
Twins,
right?
Basil.
Oh, twins. So then that was that. So that was yeah, that was God testing me, and it was just, but it was good. It's just been fucking, it's crazy. It's just the whole thing is just, it's been a fun week. How you doing, Vince? What's going on?
I'm doing all right. I mean, not as exciting as your life and all over the place, but I mean, it's
Weren't
pretty
you on
close.
the freeway late last night?
Yeah, actually, I'm working pretty late right now, but I got off early last night, so.
Now, who are you fighting with on Twitter? There's a guy who like has a lot of followers that you're fighting with on.
Oh, I don't know. Some supposed rock star guy who did a couple movies, but like.
Why are you fighting with him?
Paige Van Zandt posted something about she's looking for a mattress. If anyone has any suggestions, let me know. So I, of course, wrote mine with a winky face.
Oh, right.
So so people are like my man, and then people are like thirsty, like talking shit. You know what I mean? I'm getting both sides of it. So this guy writes something about thirsty, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna entertain this a little bit. So I wrote something about. Yeah, just as thirsty as you with all your bot followers. I said something about his bot followers because I looked at his profile and he's got a shit ton of followers, but if you look, he's got like 100 likes on all of his shit. So I'm like, this guy probably bought all these fucking people. Yeah, and he never tweets. So I'm like, this guy purchased these motherfuckers. So I say something and then he comes back and then like we're just going back and forth for a while and then he eventually like I could tell he wants to just stop arguing, but I just keep going and like nagging on him and stuff. But I don't know who that guy was.
You know these guys. You know, listen.
I think it's kind of
sticking up for a woman. Sticking up for like. You got to be able to like have a good. That was a funny joke. You're a UFC fighter. She's a UFC fighter. It was tasteful. It wasn't like you were saying something.
It wasn't
like,
crossing the line.
It's like that we had that girl from Long Island on. The girl that was
Kachanigan.
Yeah. She said, "Hey, do you know my boy, whatever, from Long Island?" And I wrote back, "You lost me at my boy." Like, but she laughed. She wrote LOL. Like. I'm sure Paige Van Zandt probably laughed at that. Like, you don't have to all of a sudden become. They call them white knights. It's like, come on.
What do you think you're gonna get out of it too? Like, I tweeted something, and a lot of people have tweeted the same thing when Paige tweeted about getting the title at 125, and Shevchenko said, "I'll challenge you." And I was like, I didn't know they could televise murder. And I don't
I saw that. That was
I don't tag any of the fighters, but a lot of people tweeted the same thing. And then somebody retweeted it and tagged Paige. And it's like, really?
That happens to me all the time. And I'm like, hey, listen, enough people know about MMA Roasted. Enough fighters follow me. If they want to follow me, great. If not, you don't have to tag them.
Yeah, you have 60-some-odd-thousand followers. Like, do we need to be the guy, oh, he said this about you. Oh, my, how could you save me so well? I love you now.
It's unbelievable. But
and those people like that, too, I'm like, I think I said something to that dude, like, at least I'm fucking, like, I'm out, like, I have the confidence to say what I need to say, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm saying something I usually won't say anything cross the line unless it's someone I know. Like, I'll say some shit like that to you or, like, even you guys. But if it's someone I don't know, like her, for instance, like, I'll just say shit like that, which I don't feel like that was crossing the line. No. But then you get these Captain Save-A-Ho dudes that are, like, they follow her, creep in the back, or don't say shit, and then when someone, like, says something to them, then they try to bash that person.
It's like these male feminists. They're trying to backdoor the pussy. Where it's like, hey, guy, hey, look, I'm with you. I know so many guys when, like, that Me Too thing came out, and I'm like, and they were writing, like, I was at a comedy club one time, and the booker was like, hey, you're sexy. I'm like, bro, that's not the same as a chick being raped, bro. You're diminishing it. I know, and you're only doing it because you're trying to get women to like you. Like,
which you just reminded me is when I was at your comedy show on Saturday, I was out front and there was this lady trying to get in, and the guy at the door, which I mean he's I don't want to say standoffish, but he's kind of just like, dude, you think get the fuck out of my face kind of guy, you know what I mean? Like he won't sit there and entertain you if you're nagging on him. So this lady gets in line. She's just got a general admission, and she's like, "Oh, how long do we have to wait?" He's like, "Oh, I'm letting VIPs and these guys and then these guys. So you're last. Just wait your turn." So we're in line, and we're all waiting there in line. You know what I mean? This lady's like comes back around like maybe 2 minutes later. She's like, "Hey, when can we come back in?" And the guy's like, "I told you, just wait in line. You'll get your turn." She leaves. Again, comes back 5 minutes later. She says, "Hey, when can we get in?" The guy goes, "This is all he says. I'm busy," and turns around and starts like helping other people. And me and my friend Jason, we were like, "Oh," you know. The lady hears us.
Yeah.
So she's like panicking, doesn't know what to do. She walks in the priority line then. So he's starting to let those people in. He gets to her. I'm like, oh, shit's about to get real right now. They're going to start throwing blows. She argues her way in with the guy. So the guy, I'm like, dude, what's up, bro? I was like, you were so tough. And then you just fold and let this guy and let this lady in. He's like, you know what? I just want to get nagged the rest of my life. And I was like, honestly, if I had your job, I'd have so much fun with it.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. So we're going to call a guy right now, Gerald Harris. He's, I think, the most fucked over fighter of all time. Not of all time, but he's a guy who lost one fight in the UFC. The guy ended up testing positive for roids his next fight, and they cut him. And then he finally makes the Ultimate Fighter Redemption season, and he tears his like ACL the day before.
He's a big guy, isn't he?
He was a great fighter. He was a great wrestler, teammates with Stipe Miocic. Now he's a comedian, a wrestling coach, and he was telling me the story, which I'll tell you guys before we get on. He's a wrestling coach, and he noticed that one of the kids on his team didn't have a house, or like they were sleeping in the car. Him and his mom. And Gerald already has 6 kids of his own. and a stepkid in his house. And he's like, wait, you guys are staying in the car? Don't do that. So he let this kid, middle school kid, and his mom stay with him.
That's cool.
Until she gets back on her feet. She also has 4 other kids. So now there was 12 kids living in his house.
Oh, he didn't know. He was kind of like
that,
he was kind of like, can I get in scooter in front of your line?
Yeah,
Brings all these
yeah. There was so. I
He
mean,
didn't check the car behind him then.
right. But that's how nice of a guy. I mean, the guys lets. I mean, how many wrestling coaches will that? I
that's
know
pretty awesome. Good for
yeah.
you,
So Gerald
So,
Harris.
I know a few people that regret letting someone into their house.
I have.
Who's that,
I've
me?
regretted that.
You know?
Me.
Who?
You know what I'm talking about.
No, tell us.
Let's hear it, TV.
Where's Gabe lived for the last 6
Oh,
months?
yeah. Well, no. All right. So you're gonna get a text now.
No
by the way.
comment. No
Good
comment.
luck.
So anyway, we're gonna call Gerald Harris. Sure, no problem.
I don't know if he has a avenue to listen to the show anymore.
He actually opened up a new chicken place, just so you know, called Ragin' Chicken. It's a popped-up chicken. I think him and Iaquinta opened it. So
Really?
shout out to Ragin' Chicken, Gabe.
What do you mean a pop up? Like it's like a roach coach kind of thing?
I don't know. I guess it's just a whole new thing now with the millennials where it's pop-up stuff where you can't afford actual stores. You just pop up and like sell.
Oh yeah, you just rent it for like a weekend or something. So
I don't even
shit
know if
go.
it's even legal, or whatever. But good for him. I know he smokes a lot of pot, so when you smoke pot, you want chicken. But
I thought it was because Al is Raging Al and Gabe is a chicken.
maybe that might be it too. So we're calling G Harris, the Hurricane, any minute now. Is that for this? Or, oh, cool, nice. So by the way, Andrew, we didn't talk to Andrew about. It was his first week ever commentating on Glory Kickboxing. How fucking cool is
Oh
that?
my lord! I almost didn't recognize you with your face all shaved either.
Camera, but yeah.
Now, did you think
It was cool. It was a great time.
Did you think Tiffany Timebomb won?
No.
I watched. It was pretty close.
It was close.
I watched it.
The leg kicks.
Tiffany
Van
Timebomb.
Soest.
The girl hasn't lost in 3 years. The other girl hasn't lost in like 4 years. She fought some girl from France, right?
96 wins and 3 losses.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, they were her or the between them or both.
The girl that beat her.
The girl that beat her. But it was one of those things where like they
a
said,
lot of fights.
but they said you got to beat the champ, and Tiffany was a champ. I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah, I guess if you look at it like that, the whole beat the champ thing, if you just score the rounds, I think she won the rounds.
I think, but Tiffany landed the harder shots.
Yeah, but there really was no hard shots.
Yeah, it was one of those. It was one of those girls
It was
with.
like 4 hard shots and Tiffany landed them all, but she
Like they were hitting like girls in there.
didn't
Yeah.
follow it up.
I liked it though, but it's one of those fights where, you hear Tiffany Timebomb lost, and you're like, oh shit, and then you watch the fight, and you're like, wait a minute, this was way closer.
No, it was.
It was one of those fights that you have to watch.
Who's the girl?
It
that
was
just
very
fought
close,
lost?
very, very
Angela
close fight.
Magna or
Angela Magana.
Magana.
Oh, that's a whole other thing.
Oh my God! I was on Twitter and she wrote something talking shit to people, talking shit to her about something. Or she wrote something. I can't remember what she wrote, but
Was
there
it about the refs are sexist?
Yeah, I think it was something like that. And then
Yeah.
she wrote, "You can't control that," and then whatever, yada yada. And then like people were just talking shit to her. And then some guy was like, "Shut your mouth," and he posted her fight like history, and it was all just lost.
It was the last
I
6.
Holy
She's
shit!
yeah.
I was actually kind of pulling for Magana. I don't know what I kind of like. I know she's like a villain and everything, and like yada yada yada. But she's always been kind of cool to us and come on the show, and I kind of wanted her to win in some weird fucked up way because she's like she's like fun to kind of have around because she's gonna
Adam's got a crush.
do something. No, do definitely not have a crush.
No, Adam already had his interaction with her, and it ended with about 13 Mexican dudes.
Yeah, so, yeah,
Oh, no.
Yeah, her and Rowdy Beck invited me back to their hotel room.
You were
one
almost a
night.
pinata.
Dude, they were like, hey, come to our hotel room, bring alcohol and other stuff. And I'm like, okay.
Bunch of
And,
dudes waiting.
Hey, what's up? So we got Gerald Harris right here. What's up, man? So, like I said, my man Gerald Harris, I did comedy. Do you want to put a camera on him or no?
I got a camera on.
What's up? Can they see me?
I think,
Yes.
yes, they can see
Yes.
you. We're,
I'm moving my car so the sunlight is.
It's in it's in here.
okay. So I was telling everyone about how good of a guy you are with taking in that kid on your wrestling team who's living in his car with his mom. I don't know if you want me to say that story, but I'm just saying how awesome that to know a person like you who does that, man. So
Man, it's crazy. It's kind of a weird story because my mom was the same way. I've raised 3 teenagers. My own little brother kept getting in trouble, in and out of trouble, so I got him to graduate high school. My friend, he went to prison, so I took his son in. And then my nephew, he dropped out of school because he had a baby, so I took him in. I got all 3 of those kids who dropped out of school to graduate high school. And the crazy thing is they were all 3 athletes. They just so luckily had to be awesome athletes and just making the wrong decisions. So, but you know what? I get it from my mom. You met her. She's a sweetheart.
I love your mom. By the way, so I did a show with him, and he's like the king of Tulsa. I'm not kidding. He's the mayor. Everybody in Tulsa, every black person at least, was at this comedy club.
Is that where he's from? Are you from Tulsa? Are you from Oklahoma? That's why he's a wrestler from Oklahoma. He's their hero.
And I'm telling you, some of the hottest chicks. I was talking about those 2 twins. They weren't twins. That were like, "What are you doing later?" I'm like, this never happens when I'm single. Never happens.
It never happened. It never works like that. You see me keeping my distance. I ain't trying to get in trouble.
Oh, I know. By the way, his current wife is this hot Thai girl from Thailand, and like she's like the sweetest girl, but she's not to be fucked with. I would not.
I met her at a massage parlor.
Did you really?
Get the fuck out of here.
We hit it off pretty good, man. You know, so I was happy with my. I'm kidding.
Oh.
He's like, I like the way you rub me.
Yeah, we were all believing you.
I'm like, you're my new hero.
That was so racist.
Now you're officially retired?
Hell yeah.
But you retired like 5 times already.
No, I retired one time. You trying to act like how many times I've been married?
Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
I retired once because I was going through a divorce. And speaking of my wife, she just pulled up actually.
Oh, nice.
Oh, hold on, watch this. Yo, JoJo, come here, say hi. Nicky. I'm here. Y'all gotta meet my family real quick. Y'all come say hi. Come say hi. I can't. I'm doing an interview.
Tell her don't be shy.
Y'all meet my wife real quick. We're gonna have to eat. Say hi, baby.
Hi, how are you? Hey, nice seeing you again.
Come here, JoJo, say hi. This is sister.
Whoa, damn.
Oh, hey.
How are you?
Stop to the back. Say hi, Dad.
Boo.
I'm inside, baby. Oh, is Dylan asleep? Oh, baby sleep. They can see her. Come on. Yeah, I'm gonna show y'all the baby real quick. So,
Force her in the shot.
Oh my God.
Oh.
That is
she's been
the.
drinking.
Oh my God.
I
Now
still think she has a pacifier in her mouth. She's like,
that
I
is.
know, I can see that.
Now you have 7 kids, right?
yeah, I got 5 of my own and 2 step kids, so it's pretty cool.
Straight
My
army.
wife had 2, I had 4, and then we had 1 together.
Nice.
Shit on purpose too.
Now did they all get
That's a
along?
fucking-
Yeah, they get along great. Man. We got 2 little girls, and you know I had 3 girls, so they all have fun together. And my boys are big. My oldest boy is a 17-year-old. He don't really come around much. But my other boy, he's 11, and he's an athlete. They all wrestle. Most of all of them wrestle, so they get along great.
Now you were telling me
what's price?
you said the best guy you wrestled Daniel Cormier in college, right?
No, he wrestled me. I just put my ankle band on and stepped on the line, and he just. I don't even think I was there. It was pretty bad.
Hello?
Oh, no.
Hello? Fuck.
Oh,
Reconnecting.
let's reconnect.
That's how bad
Now
the
his
match
face-
went.
Now he looks like an eyewitness on. It's all
Yeah,
blurred out.
the wrestling match went so bad, he still got disconnected. Here you are.
Hey, Daniel Cormier's ghost just in the conversation.
Now, did you know that Cormier was going to be a world champion one day?
Yeah, I mean, we all knew it from junior college on up. He gave Carol Sanderson hell. He tech-balled Damian Hahn. I mean, so there's no shame in the ass whooping I took. But I'm not sure if I cut off or not. But that match, I'm not kidding, was like playing a video game and you have 2 players, but one person doesn't have a controller and you just beat them. That ass whooping was. I didn't score a point. Like, he beat me bad, man.
Oh, damn. Well, it's okay, man. I mean, look, you got beat by one of the by a 2-time Olympian, guy like that. Now, what's your thoughts on John Jones?
I hate it. I don't judge nobody. He is who he is. And he has that kind of like that NFL, NBA syndrome where you take a young dude and you give him a whole bunch of money and you expect him to act right. Like, if you're a badass before you get a bunch of money, you're going to be even more of a badass when you get the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if I ain't shit, if you give me $1 million, I ain't going to be super shit. You know what I'm saying? He's a cool ass dude. He just surrounded himself with the wrong people. Like, if I was John Jones' friend, I would be just trying him. I'm like, dude, look, give me this much a day to help me pay my child support. I will drive you wherever you need to go at any time. You know, he's not surrounding himself with the right people. I hope that he gets through this and he gets back out there because he's a talented dude. Funny quick story about John Jones. There used to be a website I always joke about called Black Planet.
Yeah.
John Jones, when I fought, I fought a Brazilian guy. I beat the shit out of him in the IFL. And they gave him the decision. And John Jones wrote me a message on Black Planet before he started fighting. Was like, sweet slams, bro. One day I hope I can fight. And I was like,
no way.
Yeah, that was years ago, dude. That was like 2006. He wrote me that message.
Damn.
Sweet slams. I'm gonna be a fighter one day. I was like, yeah, man, just work hard. You'll be good.
That's awesome. Did he ask you for cocaine afterwards or no?
I just need a little boost. Just need to pick me up.
Where's the hook
He
in?
was probably high when he wrote that message.
But whatever, man. that whatever.
Hey, I liked his comments to Daniel Cormier though when he was talking about the hookers and blow.
Oh, he's like, I had the best week of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I beat your ass when I was high.
Yeah.
Now, you and Stipe Miocic were college teammates. Now, how good of a wrestler was Stipe? How good of a teammate was he? Were you guys friends? Close friends?
Stipe, oh man, me and Stipe, that's my boy. That's my bro right there.
I didn't know the guy even wrestled.
Bro-Asian, because he's Croatian, I'm black, so we bro-Asian, man.
Bro-Asian.
He's the same dude he was before he got the UFC title. He was always a hard-working guy. He just didn't like wrestling. You can just tell. It wasn't in his heart. But Stipe is the type of dude that could beat anybody and lose to anybody. Nothing against him in wrestling, not in fighting. But he just didn't like wrestling. He was so good, he would beat like the number 2 guy in the country. And then the next week you see him lose to like, a guy from wherever. And you're like, what's going on? It was in his head. As long as Stipe wants it, he can get it. So that dude's talent and it's unlimited what he can do.
Now, what are your feelings on him versus Ngannou?
That's a scary ass fight. Ngannou was like they shaved fucking King Kong.
You said that, not me.
I'm not ever gonna meet that motherfucker. Because that uppercut, he uppercut him like he was his long lost daddy and he just met him. Child support out there, motherfucker.
You owe me 18 years.
Hey, he uppercut him so hard, I ducked.
Oh, that's
He came off the ground when he hit him. Like,
Bro, he came
fuck.
off the earth, motherfucker.
it really was like Friday, like that whole like
The Debo fight.
Debo hit that guy with the bike.
Hey, he got his fucking
Red.
Whatever he stole, he's gonna give it back. He uppercut the shit out of him.
Dude, he came to my comedy show and I was like making fun of him. I'm like, look, you came to this country and now you're an Uber driver. I was saying all this shit to him, and he couldn't really understand English, but he was laughing. And afterwards, he came up to me. He's like, "I didn't like your joke," and everybody that was around me just stopped talking. Everyone's like, and then
That's how Adam ends right here.
I was just kidding, man. And he goes, "I know," and he put me in a headlock. And then he bought a T-shirt. I go, "Here it is." No, he goes,
bought a T-shirt.
He goes, "Give it to someone else." And then I saw him at the fight, and he's like, "Come here," and then he gave me his ticket to sit next to him. Like he's just he's a
That's
good
cool.
dude. But you're right.
He's like the dude that's gonna be your cellmate when you go to jail. You can't do nothing about it. You just gotta lube up.
Nasty Nate.
That dude is a monster, man.
Dude, yeah, he's one scary son of a bitch.
Guy. Let me tell you what I like about him most. I like the way that he works, man. The dude came from nothing, and that's nothing against people that are privileged. I've seen guys that have money their whole lives and be great fighters, but that dude came from nothing. He had absolutely no training camp or no training before coming to the UFC, and I think he moved to Vegas. He's totally committed. And that's what's most scary about him. He's hungry. That dude is hungry as hell.
Now, but what do you think? I mean, Stipe, it's not like he doesn't know how hard this guy hits, though, or how good he is. Don't you think Stipe is a pretty smart guy and could figure out, just take this guy down for 3-4 rounds and tire him out? And
No, take him down for 6 rounds, motherfucker. I'm going to take him down while they was putting Vaseline on his face.
I was gonna say in his entrance.
Yeah.
After I saw that uppercut, no, man. No.
That wouldn't fuck around with that shit either.
Hey, quick story. My dumb ass, I had this guy. My last fight, this dude was crazy. Every fight, he comes out and does like this axe kick. Every fight, like he just runs and he like Mortal Kombat kicks the guy off the bell. So I was like, I'm gonna get on one knee. I got on one knee and he fucking soccer kicked me right in the face.
Oh,
my
fuck.
God.
I thought you were going to say he like jumped over you or some shit.
Like, what? And he was like, he kicked you in the chest. I was like, my chest and my fucking face.
Fuck.
When it comes to a kick. But yeah, I tried that. It didn't work. I tried to be like John Jones and get down on my knees.
Yeah.
I thought you took that Rich Franklin advice from the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, no, it was.
Yeah, who did that? I remember someone did the Ultimate Fighter.
He told it to Matt Serra.
Was it Matt Serra? He
Yeah,
was,
but
he was
Matt
in that
didn't do
three-point
it.
stance?
Yeah, Matt didn't do it.
I think he thought I was pulling some Colin Kaepernick shit. You gonna stand it, boy?
By the way, man, like I said, I watched Gerald get a standing ovation. On his, I mean, you're a murderer, dude. Comedy's your thing, man. I mean, fighting's obviously your thing, even to the highest level. But for this next chapter, I really think comedy's your
I got
thing.
the video. I'm gonna do what you told me to submit it. It's really good video. And I don't know about you, Adam. When I've been watching myself for years, over 15 years, and I never really laugh at my own sets. I'm just kind of like, that was okay, even no matter how the crowd reacts. But this show, I worked so hard, and I actually laughed at my own set. And that was
That's cool. Sometimes I laugh at the crowd. If I do crowd work off the cuff, I'll laugh. I'll laugh.
Yeah, like my jokes, I'm like,
Yeah, because you know your jokes, but when something like ridiculous happens. But yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. Now, your second to last fight, the guy missed weight by what, 35 pounds?
What the fuck?
No, it was 180, and it was 170. He called a week before and said, hey, can we do 180? I was like, cool. And he showed up at 224 pounds. Now,
Wow.
Was it mayhem?
I said that whole long ass story because I suck at math. That's 44 pounds. It took me that long to figure that
Right.
shit out. That
But-
was my diversion from not knowing how much he was overweight.
But you still knocked him out with a slam.
I slammed the shit out of that dude, man.
Yeah.
Like really, I think it was some shit on the canvas after I got up. Like
Whoa.
I ain't never slammed nobody that hard in my life. He's a cool dude. Like he wanted to hang out with me after. I was like, it's kind of awkward.
Was that the dude that had like his arm across his neck too, and like used that to put him
Yep.
down?
It
Yeah.
was like David Branch times 10.
Yeah, that was a good one, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, it was so bad. The camera actually. It looks like the cameraman like dunked the camera when I slammed him.
No, he shook.
It was so hard it shook.
Yeah.
Now was that guy was he a white guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That
Shaved
was
head.
another Colin Kaepernick.
Now after that happened, right? You go out in Tulsa. Are there black people coming up to you and like, was it like a extra victory for like?
No, man. I got so many white friends. I got a good mix of them out. But I'll tell you this: World Star, it was a shit. Cause like,
Oh yeah, he probably blew the fuck up on there.
Oh yeah.
Donald Trump had just won, so people was like, yeah, he slammed the shit out of Donald Trump's son. Got racist, real. Like, I was just like, oh my god. If you want to laugh, go to World Star and read the comments. But yeah, that was pretty hilarious.
The thing about you, that I like about you though, man, is that you are the most unracist person. You treat everybody exactly right. You're not one of these people. You think along your lines, you know.
I'm racist as hell. I just treat everybody good.
Oh, that's good. Okay, good.
I'm not a racist. I'm a realist. Like I hate when people say we're all the same. No, we're not. Mexicans act different than blacks. Blacks act different than whites.
Yeah.
Like it's hilarious. We have to embrace the fact that we're different. My wife's Asian. Her family's different as hell than my black family. You know what I mean? You go on no lie. I took her to Thanksgiving. Black family. They had Jerry curls. You know, men were different. You know, they talk different. I played a prank on them and told her she didn't speak English. She's a mellow and a bride. They believe me like the whole time.
Oh shit.
Yo, they're like going, hey Joe, tell her. I said, bitch, she can speak English. So, but we got it. That's what makes the world so cool. Is everybody's different.
100, 1,000%. Now, were you the first black guy she's ever dated?
I hope. No.
And the last.
You know what? Okay. The good thing about my wife is she doesn't have a crazy past. Trust me, I did my search. Now, for her, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't even gonna get on that. So, I ain't tripping because she ain't over here. My past is way worse. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that one. I'm not throwing rocks in a very, very glass house.
When I was on stage. When I was on stage, I'm like, "It's such a packed crowd. It's great that all Gerald's kids should come to the show."
Everybody know I got hella. And you know, I did a joke one time. I did a joke about having 7 kids, and Adam, I swear to God, it doesn't matter how big or small the crowd is. No one ever claps.
Oh yeah.
I just had a newborn baby. They're like, "Yay!" I'm like, "That makes 7 kids." It's dead silent.
Man, whatever. No, but you're a good father, man. It's funny. I was gonna like Tyron Woodley had a thing of him going to some karate school. It was all these kids, and he's like, I like being a role model, and I wanted to write, aren't these all your kids, right? Under the thing, but he might get upset. Tyron sometimes gets
turn and run.
Tyron's cool, but like. Depends on what mood he's in. He's a little moody.
Yes, true.
And then finally, you're convinced that Askren would beat GSP, right?
Dude, I put money on it. I've very rarely been wrong. Let me tell you the only fight I got wrong. I should gamble. Let me tell you the fight I got wrong. And this isn't even MMA. I did not think that Let Me Bang, bro, was going to beat the guy over there in the bare knuckle boxing. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Julian Lane.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he did bare knuckle boxing. You were on that season, right? Was that your season? Let Me Bang, bro? No. Oh, no.
I was the one after.
Other than that, MMA, I'm pretty accurate. I'm pretty good at guessing. I'll tell you one thing. I wish I bet on the Ronda Rousey fight. I'm a big fan of hers. But I knew she was going to get that ass toe up in that fight.
Yeah.
But I just don't gamble. But anyway, if I did bet, I would bet on... I know that GSP can outstrike him. But there's no way he's going to get away from Askren for 5 rounds.
Yeah. Askren has that gorilla strength, man. He grabs onto you. It's like...
and he's so lanky, too.
It's like he's got some weird core... And toughness and smart. He's smart. It's like
fighting a brick wall. You're gonna hit him. Jay Heron was the closest to anyone ever beating him because he had a perfect game plan. But eventually, Askren just wears him.
And Heron was a really... I remember watching Jay Heron, whose name was Jay Hieronymus back then, and he was some wrestler in Long Island. Like he was like everyone feared him. Everyone was like Jay Hieronymus. I don't know. It was before your time, Andrew, but Hieronymus was a known.
James Hieronymus, he went by.
Yeah, he was a known guy. But listen. Gerald, keep up the good work. Everyone, check out his comedy special when it comes out. Probably a couple months, right?
Yeah, I'm going to do that Vimeo thing, and I'll shoot it to you, man, and check it out. But I got the video from Sunday. I want to thank you for coming out. Thanks for having me on, man.
Anytime.
I got to learn that Periscope thing, too, man. That's pretty cool.
No problem. Take care, man. Thank you.
Peace out. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I really like that Periscope now that...
I told you how to do it.
Pipes on it.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay,
never mind.
So we are calling.
I saw Jay Heron in a movie I was watching last night.
Dude, it's so funny. He's in every one of those.
The Purge 3.
He's also in every one of those Daredevils. He's in.
I haven't watched that.
He gets beat up by Luke Cage.
I forgot about that.
He gets beat up by the Daredevils, the Asian girl in Daredevil, and someone else. And someone's like, "It's okay, Jay. One day you'll beat a Marvel character."
Dude, he got the shit choked out of him by Frank Grillo in the Purge election year, the 3rd movie.
I can't believe you actually watched that.
Me and my girl watched all 3 of them in the last 2 days.
Marry this chick.
I am marrying this chick.
Any girl that puts up with your ass.
Dude, we're moving in together next week.
Really?
Yeah, I'm moving next week.
Are your parents upset that you're leaving their house?
They're a little. My mom's a little sad. My dad's trying to still wake up.
It's just the basement, Adam.
So we're calling Tatiana Suarez.
Asshole.
Then we got so many fights to cover from last week, as well as not available for FaceTime. Can you FaceTime?
Suarez.
Can you FaceTime? Dude, this girl. I'm telling you, this girl. Mark my words. Okay, people, they don't believe me.
He's rarely wrong.
No, you're wrong. Come on, no. Here's what I'm wrong on picking fights. When people come on the podcast, or if I know them, I'll usually
Your bias take. Your brain just doesn't work.
I'll usually pick them. Like if I actually know that I'm going to run into them, then
you're never picking against Ngannou no matter what.
Well, no, him I might not, but like Frankie Edgar Holloway, both friends of mine, right? There's and
stay true to your heart, Adam. Man.
I know, but it's like not worth it because I want to get him back on the show.
The truth comes out.
So it's like for some reason she's not available on FaceTime. I'm trying to, but it does say that she has FaceTime.
Yeah.
But that's the problem.
Maybe she turned off data or something.
She's clearing it.
Oh, it's ringing.
It says not available.
Yeah, she just cleared it again.
She's pressing cancel.
Come on, Tatiana, what is going on? Oh God.
It'll be all right, Adam.
But yeah,
what?
what?
It'll be okay.
I know. I'm having a bad day.
Stress
show that
is
not going to be okay.
The show that I've been pitching for 13 years and sold twice already has been not. There's a version of it now on the internet from a major network, and I'm like, so now I had to call my lawyer to possibly sue them. It's just. Man, and because we pitched the show to their network 3 times, and they passed on it, and then they put it out.
And now they fucking have one?
Yeah, and it's just like, fuck, man. Welcome to Hollywood. But I got bigger fish to fry, and I'm reading a new book called Unfuck Yourself, right? And it's how it's called How to Deal with the stuff like this, and basically it's just telling you to just constantly give yourself positive, like to root for yourself. Take all the negativity out of your mind.
There's another one too, something about like how to not give a shit or something like that. I heard it's pretty good.
I'm telling you, I like this. So
look at my life.
should we call her via Skype or something, or what should we do, Andrew?
Just call her regular, and then when she
FaceTime
answers,
doesn't work. All right, should I use my? Sorry.
Yeah.
Should I use my computer?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. Okay. Guys, talking about yourselves right now. So Vince, any new chicks in your life, Vince?
Maybe.
What is that?
I'm talking to one, two,
7.
And where did you meet these girls?
9.
I was sliding in the DMs. I was a little thirsty one day.
Really?
Yeah, actually, one of them I did. The other one I've met personally. But
What, did you go down like a hole of just like finding some hot girls online and just
no,
DMing
actually,
them?
it's kind of funny because there's this dude at my gym. His name's Jeff, but he actually knows the shit.
Shout out Jeff.
Yeah, shout out Jeff. Thank you,
What's
buddy.
up, Jeff?
But he was like, I don't know, I don't remember how it happened, but I was on Instagram one day, and then I was like, oh, who's this chick? And I was creeping on Instagram, and I seen this chick, and I noticed that he was friends with her. I was like, oh, do you know this chick? He's like, oh yeah, I've been trying to hook up with this chick, and yada yada. And I was like, oh damn. I was like, well, have you? He's like, no. I was like, well, does she have any friends? Like, let's go fucking hang out or something, you know? And then
Vince stole the girl.
And then I'm like talking to him, and then he's like, oh, I've been trying to get her to hang out, but she doesn't want to hang out with me. And I was like, all right. He's like, go try to get her to hang out, and then you get her friends, and then we'll all date again. Like, so he basically like reversed the role of me. And I was like, all right, cool. So then when I was actually at your comedy show,
Yeah.
I was a little hammered when I left there. So I was like creeping on Instagram. Then I just sent her a message like, what's up? What are you doing? And then
Now-
we're like hanging out now.
Oh, no, okay. So wait. So
Does Jeff know?
wait, have you actually met her?
I've met her in real life. I was actually going to meet her today.
How do you know she's a girl? She could be a dude or something.
Yeah, that's true. I could be catfish, but
Yes.
I mean,
I know.
if she catfishes
And
me.
now, what does she do? Is she a fitness model? Is she what does she do?
No, she works at a. I don't even know.
We gotta check Instagram
Let me
now.
check my resources.
We're not quite sure.
All right, so I'm calling.
I'm pretty sure I asked her, but I don't remember because I was a little hammered when I was talking to her.
That's cool.
Those are always the best because then you get to read the conversation fresh in the morning.
I know. When I wake up, it's like reading a new story.
You get to be
You're
yourself.
like, wait, this happened to
Hello,
me?
Tatiana.
This happened?
Come on.
She can't be reached on Skype.
No, that's ridiculous.
She doesn't want to talk to you.
Come on. All right, calling you on Skype. All right, calling you from.
Oh, here's something cool. I bought a cool onesie. You like it?
No, you're weird.
Let me see. I like onesies.
Isn't that a romper?
Yeah, of course he likes it. He's
That's not a romper. Get the hell out of
This is
here.
the guy who wears sweatpants, middle school sweatpants to work every day.
They're not middle school. They're like $100
Hey,
sweatpants.
fuck you, man. I'm wearing sweatpants right now.
Because you're another freaking weirdo.
Oh, that's nice.
You guys are not. You guys.
I'm wearing Enzo and Cass sweatpants.
All right, let's talk
Now
about.
I see it.
All right. In the meantime, let's talk about the fights. So Eddie Alvarez, like I knew that was going to catch up to Gaethje at some point. You can't just go punch for punch with everyone you fight, and it seems like that's what he does. And,
Well, Eddie had great defense too. His head movement was amazing. He was avoiding a lot of those shots. The biggest damage he took was to the leg.
I honestly, I was hoping Eddie would win. I like Eddie. I don't know Gaethje, but fucking Tatiana Suarez, man. But I
Is she
can't-
no longer the next champ now because she won't answer the phone?
Yeah, but she's never gonna win another fight.
Never rooting for you again.
Yeah. Based on this, but the thing about it, I didn't see that. I didn't see it going that way. But I just think that Gaethje needs a better game plan. Because you can do that in the WSOF for a long time. You can
That
do that with
sprawl
certain
and
guys.
brawl
Michael
and-
Johnson might have the worst fight IQ in the history of fighting. I fucking love Michael Johnson, but he
Yeah,
just does
dude.
things that you're like, dude. I mean, he just goes punch for punch with Gaethje. He didn't need to do that. He could have used his speed, you know. But
Yeah, me as a fighter, I think Gaethje's like that dude's like a super tough like game fighter, but he is not that good in my eyes. Like he fucking just like his technique is just garbage. You know what I
Really?
mean? Yeah, but he's just a tough fucking dude. That's,
He was just
He got real far, 18-0, just by taking shots. But at
Yeah.
some point, you need to reevaluate your game plans. And
I've
a
seen
guy
a lot
like
of his
Eddie
fights. He
He throws
Alvarez,
good leg kicks and stuff. I think he got away from them a little bit in that fight. But
he was a good college wrestler.
yeah, he was all American.
yeah, he is.
and-
Isn't he like multiple time, isn't he?
Yeah, no, I
checking-
think- I think-
Three time?
He just.
I think it was just one time, but
was
he,
it?
Look, this is
he might
his
have been
first
two.
loss, and I think he'll like learn from it.
oh, it's a
Hello, Tatiana Suarez. How are you? You're on the MMA Roasted podcast. I'm just trying to figure this out right now. What was that? Oh, this out.
Maybe I'm gonna-
Hello, Tatiana Suarez.
Oh, you need an adapter. Is that a 7?
Plug it in.
Hello. No, it's okay.
You need an adapter.
Oh,
The 7s don't. They
Action.
have the single ones.
Hold on.
that's annoying.
Okay, I'm just trying to do this right now.
You gotta plug it in. There you go.
You can't.
This fucking-
Put it on speaker.
Hello, Tatiana. It should be on.
Is that Bluetooth?
Hello, Tatiana. I
that
think
from
no.
Bluetooth?
I think it's gonna work. Hold on one sec. Acting Bluetooth. Here we go. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. Trust me.
Pray to the Bluetooth gods.
Can I talk?
I feel like you're calling her a different name every time. Just put it on speaker. And
Put it on speaker. Put it on here.
Here we go. Here we go. But it's, that should work though.
You gotta, it's not connected. Just talk to her.
hello, Tatiana.
Yeah, I can hear you.
There we go.
That's good. I'm not used to
Oh, maybe 'cause
What
of the
about?
Wi-Fi.
Do you have headphones so you can hear? See if you can hear good on the mic.
I think it's the Wi-Fi. I think if I connect to the Wi-Fi, it'll work.
You don't need Wi-Fi for Bluetooth.
Yeah, you don't need Wi-Fi or Bluetooth.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so here we are. We are on the phone with Tatiana Suarez, who I am. We're
It's like the
gonna
ninth
edit
version
this,
of her
right?
name.
No, we're keeping this raw.
We're not keeping this. Are we keeping this?
I was staying in.
All right. So we had fun with Tatiana
Just to, show you,
Suarez.
just to show you for next time not to do that.
By the way, Tatiana.
Hello.
Hey, hello. By the way, I think
Hello.
I was telling everyone that I think that you are going to be the next UFC champion. I've been watching your fights. I think you have the perfect game plan. I think your wrestling is good. I think you're like a bully in there. Do you agree?
Do I agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, it's this.
I mean, you're awesome. I mean, you're the best wrestler in women's MMA right now. Correct?
I'm a shitty fan. I stopped watching.
I believe I am. Yeah, that's for sure.
No, 100%. Now, when did you?
If you actually wrestle me.
No,
Most of them, they don't.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. Why would they want to wrestle you? I mean, you have the clear advantage in wrestling. When did you start wrestling, by the way?
I started wrestling when I was 3 years old.
3 years old.
Damn.
I was still shitting my pants at 3 years old.
You're still shitting pants at fucking 30, dude. Who the fuck are you kidding?
I don't see the issue here.
Now, I mean, how did you? Now, how does that happen? How do your parents start you at 3 years old?
Well, my brother, first my uncles did it like in high school, I guess, and then my older brother started wrestling before me, and I wanted to wrestle. I was at a tournament, and I had been around.
I thought he was trying to contain the sound.
I told her I wanted to wrestle, and she was like, "Well, girls don't wrestle." And then there was a girl wrestling, and I actually know her to this day, and we still keep in contact. And she was like, I was like, "Well, that girl's wrestling." She was like, "Oh, okay, I guess I can let you." And then I won my first tournament, and I beat everybody up. So she was like, "Oh, wow, she's pretty good." So I guess I'll let her do it since she likes it. And it's the only thing that like I could focus on in terms of like sports. Like everything else I tried, I just couldn't stay focused. I was too hyper. I get bored easily. So.
Now you were so you started at 3. Your first tournament was when you were 4. I mean, now you were wrestling other 4-year-olds.
Sorry, they told me.
You were wrestling other 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I was always young for my age. So, or for like my
Young
age.
for age.
I was always like much younger. So even when I was like I was 3.5 when I had my first tournament. I was only 4, and like I was wrestling other 4-year-olds basically. But I beat it. But I beat them up. They were boys. I didn't wrestle any girls because there wasn't really any girls wrestling. So it was all boys.
Now, did you ever? Now, when did you start? In high school, did you wrestle with the boys or the girls?
I wrestled boys, mostly, but there were like girl tournaments that I would go to, and I'd wrestle like just basically like the important tournaments like state and nationals and stuff like that, and like world competitions. I think I had my first world competition when I was like 15 years old, and then I won my first medal when I was. I think I was 16 years old in world competition.
Now, I coach wrestling for little kids, and we have girls on the team, and to wrestle other girls and stuff. The problem that I have with sometimes boys and girls wrestling is that whenever it's a match and a boy wrestles a girl, the crowd all of a sudden gets behind the girl because they think it's like some like after school special or something, or the girl, they assume the girl is the underdog, and then if she wins, they all go ballistic. And it like makes the boy feel that much worse. Not only did you lost, but now the whole crowd was like against you for some reason. And people in the crowd think that they're doing something like good for women's rights or part of this kind of they're becoming feminist for like that 5 minutes. And I'm like, listen, you're not helping. You're just reinforcing the stereotype that women aren't as good as men at something. You're actually doing more damage. Treat it like it's just any other match. Do you agree?
Yeah, that's how I was when I wrestled. Like a lot of times, like people would do the same thing, especially like with Greco, because Greco is like all upper body, you know. So you're like top arming, you know, you teach wrestling, but you should still. So, but yeah, it's all upper body, and it's like very like there's lots of throws, and usually men are probably a lot stronger than women because their upper body is a lot stronger, you know. So a lot of times, like people watch it more, like they would want to watch it because obviously it's more interesting, you tossing people around, but more people would make a big deal because I would be like freaking taking them on like the Top 10 Express and like throwing them around. So basically, like people watched it more because of that. But I don't know, like I never wrestled anybody differently because they were a male or female. I wanted to win equally as much as I did when I wrestled the male than I did when I was a female, and I took it just as hard as if you know what I mean? Like if I lost to a male, I never lost to a female in high school, so I wouldn't know what that felt like, but I took it the same. Like if I beat a guy, I felt the same way, and if I beat a girl, I felt the same way.
What's the last time you lost ever?
Why you gotta ask her that question, man?
She fucking lost the connection.
Later.
Yeah, why are you asking her about her loss, man? That she could hang right up.
Yeah, really? All right,
Like, that's my cue.
yeah, we finally got this girl on the phone.
See ya.
And that's it's crazy. It's fucking this should work.
You just turn that on and plug the plug into it. You don't need to go
There's Charles
Bluetooth.
Bronson
You
here.
put that right.
I know. I have an iPhone 5.
Dun,
I need
dun,
an adapter. It doesn't- or 7.
Oh, you don't have
That's the problem.
you have no headphone port.
No.
No, all the new iPhones don't have headphone port anymore,
Well,
except
I know.
for the.
I just figured Adam had like a 5C or something.
Get with the times, bro. Wait, a 5C?
Wait. Do you have a 5C?
I have a headphone port.
I have a 6.
Yeah, 6 has
Tatiana,
it.
I'm gonna call you back in 1 sec.
Okay.
Seems legit.
It will sound fine until she gets on the phone.
Just making television here.
That's how we roll.
Now I got Tatiana's number in my phone.
Yeah. Sorry, Adam.
I'm Ken Kniff.
Jeez.
Hello? Yeah, Tatiana.
Okay.
Okay, this is way better. Okay, this is
Can you hear now on the mic?
this is better, right?
Could you hear it
Now
through the
Andrew's
mic?
not happy. This is bullshit. Oh, I have a weird number calling me.
It's Tatiana.
Hopefully it's not my boss telling me I have to work
speaking
today.
to Adam Hunter.
Okay.
Yes, the comedian. There we go. Boom. All right, so now we got Tatiana. Okay, so I was asking you, when was the last time you actually lost anything?
That was a while back, and that's because like it's been a while since I've competed in wrestling, but that was probably like 2011 maybe.
Wow, so you haven't lost anything in 6 years. That's
Not even a backpack?
now by the way,
Not even your shit in traffic?
now I was reading, so you wrestled, so you were a 2-time bronze medalist in freestyle. Then you went to Tokyo and Moscow and competing. What was it like wrestling in Tokyo and Moscow?
It was fun. I mean, I've competed all over the world, not just there, but I think definitely Moscow was really entertaining. Tokyo was really entertaining as well. But I think personally, I liked Russia just because they had really good porridge. Like Japan.
Really good what?
Porridge?
Porridge? Is
Yeah,
that?
they had like some really good porridge. It was like
What are you, a bear?
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing I thought.
Goldilocks?
so good. Like, oh my gosh. it tasted like this really amazing oatmeal. Like, I don't know how to even explain it.
All right.
It's like buttery and sugary, and
All right.
I would look forward to breakfast every day.
Because isn't that what porridge is? Isn't it just like really sugary oatmeal?
I've never had porridge. I'm not in a fairy tale.
I haven't either,
But
but-
I guess that's
Road
cool.
trip.
Very good.
Now I gotta say though, I've coached in 12 years, and I've coached probably about 10 girls in the 12 years. I mean, not that whoever comes up for the team, I'll coach them. I noticed that coaching women is way easier than coaching guys. The problem is because they listen, they don't mess around, they're never goofing off. The only problem is that they're too hard on themselves. They get so frustrated that I have to build up their confidence as opposed to tell them you're not as good as you think you are. Is that?
So that's your tactic, huh?
Am I right in this?
I guess it depends on the girl.
No, all women, everywhere. I'm fucking generalizing. No, but for the most part, come on.
No. Shoot, my coaches don't have to tell me I'm good ever.
Yeah, but you're the world champion. I'm talking about just regular. Okay, fine. All right.
Oh, let me ask you this: if your coach told you that you weren't that good, would it make you strive harder or make you like contemplate shit?
No, it would make me like definitely work harder. Like that's been my entire life. Is people have told me that I couldn't do certain things. Literally, my entire life. I'll go into like certain competitions and they'll always be like, "Oh, so and so Tatiana to get beat by so and so," and this is like my whole career. And so for me, I'm like, okay, well, it just pushes me to do better and to push myself more. You know what I mean? Because there is someone out there, that wants to beat you and it's working really hard. So for me, it definitely pushes me to get better.
See, and I think that right there is what pushes like the people who are like the people that strive. I think that's the difference. Is she doesn't care, like boy or girl. People that have that kind of mindset, they're the ones that are going to strive.
The ones when you say you can't do something, like fuck that, I want to do it.
Exactly, because that's what motivated me, honestly.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Same here. When someone says like you can't be this funny, you can't do well.
Yeah, go
you're
fuck
gonna
yourself.
bomb,
Watch me.
You can't do that. Yeah, I'm just like, okay, watch. Okay, 1,000%. Now, was it being as focused as you are? Was it hard to have a boyfriend, or are you into girls? What's the deal?
Oh yes, what is the deal?
I'm not into girls. That was funny.
Okay.
I actually have a boyfriend. And,
Click.
I don't think no. I don't think it's ever like been hard for me, like in terms of like relationship wise, because most of the time I've dated like other athletes.
Okay, so your boyfriend now, what does he do? What does your boyfriend do?
Does her.
He's a fighter as well.
Ah, the plot thickens.
Is it Georgie Karakanyan?
Who?
No.
Oh, okay.
I love how she responded. No.
I know she trains over at a
Millennia.
So
Is it a Millennia guy?
Is it?
Well, he has babies, so that would be really weird if like.
Oh yeah.
was his girlfriend.
I know. I mean, God, who ever heard of a Mexican with babies? Is it?
I have a question. When you fight with your boyfriend, do you guys actually fight? Do you like fight it out?
What's your record against your man?
what's your guys' fighting record?
Wait, is it what's his name? The guy who went from the UFC to the Bellator, Lorenz Larkin?
No.
Is it a Millennia
Is
guy?
she from California?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is from Millennia. He's actually he's up and comer right now. He's 4-0 as a pro. So he's 3 and he's had like 3 fights within the last like maybe 8 months.
Is it the guy you beat? It's that.
Oh,
it's
and
that.
who,
it's
Joe
that-
Merritt?
The guy, yeah. Is it Joe Merritt?
No,
Is it Johnny Cisneros?
no,
Who is it?
He's an up and comer.
Is it Cody Bollinger?
no.
Give us a hint.
Give us a hint.
Sayadawad?
What do you give you? Hey, I'm not like trying to hide it.
All right, who is it?
Well, fine, tell us.
All right, who is it? What's his name?
His name is Chris Sykes, and
What'd you say?
He sucks.
Actually, has another fight coming up January 12th. So
Chris Sykes. Okay. What weight is he?
he's 135.
So you could probably take him.
She's like, I can for sure take him.
We've had to stop training together because
like, I guess pretty competitive. So.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say sexual.
So, like, yeah, when you guys are having sex, are you constantly fighting for top mount?
No.
Has
Who
he?
usually gets the rear naked on who?
Yeah. Have you ever been doing you from behind and then sinks on her naked? And like, he's like, always be ready, always be ready. And
She's
then,
undefeated at work and undefeated at home.
honestly, has he ever been like standing up? He's having sex with you, and you go for like a rolling ankle lock. Like, you just, like,
We know you've Granby or done something on his ass.
come on. How long have you been dating him?
It's been 4 years.
Oh, it's a long time. It's a long time. So
If you dumped him, would it be a slam instead of actually just kicking him out?
That's hysterical.
No.
Okay, so this is serious. This is all right. So the guy, he is a pro.
Yeah.
And what's his record?
He's Florida.
Oh wow, undefeated. Both you
Except
guys
he's
are
0 and
undefeated.
30 at home.
Wow, yeah, 0 and 30 at home. Wow. Now is he a Mexican too, or is he a gringo?
Actually, he's black.
Wow. Oh, you guys are gonna have cute babies. Good for you. Good for you. Nice. All right. There you go. I like it. I like this. Chris Sykes, look out for this guy. So, what organization is he in?
He was fighting for CXF his last fight, but he's fighting this next fight for RFA.
All right. So he's getting better. Getting better.
I had a couple friends that fought in that last card, at CXF card.
Oh, nice. Did you see the black guy who was eating burritos in the back?
Yeah, the black guy that was there was my friend Pius, but it wasn't. I'm pretty sure it wasn't him.
All right. So okay. Now you've been just murdering people. You murdered Kate Jackson, and then you fucked up JJ Aldridge. The one fight that I thought maybe you were close to tapping was Bobby Joe, the girl who
It's
who just
Amanda
beat-
Bobby Cooper.
Amanda Bobby Cooper.
It's not Bobby Joe.
Yeah, I was like, who the fuck?
It's Cotton Eye Joe. So Amanda Bobby Cooper, how close were you to tapping to that armbar?
I wouldn't have tapped.
You would have just broke your arm?
No problem. I wouldn't have tapped. I would have let it break first.
Because afterwards, that's what you said, and they were interviewing you. Like, I'm a wrestler. We don't break. We break people.
And yet I've heard that in your videos while coaching now.
That's what. No, I never said that. And that's what she said. She goes, "We don't break. We break people." That was awesome. Now I gotta ask you. So you were on your way to the Olympics. Then you got a neck injury, right? And then they found out. You had cancerous. You had cancer in your thyroid.
Oh no!
And then that was done. Then you were done with your wrestling career. But why were you done with, like, how bad was that? What was that like? Did you have to go through chemo? Tell me about that.
Well, it definitely wasn't fun. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It was very taxing, and I don't really like. I've never really gone into details of like how like difficult it was, but I'll just say it was very difficult, and it was one of those things where it's definitely life-changing. It teaches you, it definitely makes you, start to realize the important things in life. Everybody always says that, but it's really true.
Yeah.
People are like, you're like, oh, that's so cliche, but it's 100% true. Because a lot of times you'll go throughout your day and you just don't appreciate little things, you know what I mean? So, especially your family. But it's one of those things that makes you a better person for sure.
Now, did you know you were going to be okay, or were they telling you you might not ever train again, you might die? I mean, how close was it?
I never had that conversation with the doctor. They were just like, well, you really have to get this treated. Because I was like, oh, well, this can go on hold. Like, I can still train and make the Olympics and then just go to the treatment after. And they're like,
with cancer in your neck.
It's spreading through your lungs and your lymph nodes. And it's all over your neck. So I was just like, oh, okay, well, I guess I can't do that. Because I was full, ready to just, put this on hold and do the Olympics. But they're like, no, you can't. It's actually metastasizing. So yeah, I had to have iodine.
Damn, that's crazy.
Iodine treatments, and then I actually had to have my thyroid removed, and then I had to have
that like lymph nodes and stuff removed as well.
So I mean, is that why you're so damn tough? I mean, you're going into the cage. You're like, man, this is nothing compared to what I had to deal with.
What happened?
Is that why you're so tough? I mean, one of the reasons. I mean, you were tough before that, but now you're like at a next level.
Oh.
It's the wrestling.
I think your mindset, like my mom, like she raised me to be very tough, and I think that alone was prepared me for that challenge. You know what I mean? Because it's a no joke kind of illness. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to be tough in order to go through it, and then it makes you even that much tougher. I think for me, I don't know if it made me tougher. I think I was already tough, and like it just made, you know, basically to me, I feel like it was put in my path in order to inspire others. I feel like I was made for a bigger thing, and I've had a lot of like feedback because of the tough show, and people are like, oh, I'm going through the same thing, and you know what I mean, and I'm able to inspire them to continue to like you know, persevere through their struggles and through their sickness, and I think that's awesome, because it's like I'm able to reach more people through MMA. Because in wrestling, not many people pay attention to us. Like, even though I was like the number one wrestler in the nation and third in the world, like no one knew who I was. You know what I mean? So through MMA, I'm able to reach more people. It's a more popular sport. So I feel like maybe that dream was taken away from me. So that I could I have a chance at a second dream, which is, you know, becoming the UFC strawweight champion. So, but now I'm able to reach more people this way.
Well, I mean, I think it could happen. I mean, I know it's going to happen actually. How do you think Rose and Joanna, the rematch? What do you think's going to happen if they have a rematch?
Oh, I don't even know if they're gonna have a rematch. I don't really know. Every time I say something's gonna happen, it goes the other way.
What about Carla versus
Cynthia Calvillo?
I have no idea. I thought like I think it'll be a good matchup.
Wow.
I don't like to say like who's gonna win, because I don't want to be like,
stop trying to be their friend,
offending people either. Like, I'm not here to like feel like you're gonna get your ass whooped. Like, I'm not here to do that.
Yeah, but you can say.
Yeah, but you're in a fighter and you have an educated opinion above other people.
I mean, a very educated opinion. I mean, what do you rank right now?
Me, I have no clue.
All right, are you in the UFC still? No, what do you mean? You don't know what you're ranked? Because I would assume that you're probably like 4 or 5, right, or 6. I mean,
me?
Down. Why are you down there? You're fucking 5-0.
Definitely top 15 for sure.
Why is she not ranked higher? She's 5-0. She's fucking up everyone she goes against. Why would you?
Well, it's because I haven't fought like anybody in the top 10, and I don't know what the girl was ranked that I just fought, but.
I mean, you beat the shit out of that chick.
Who, Juliana Lima?
Mm-hmm.
That was like I threw in the towel. I was like, it was unbelievable.
Is that after you busted on her?
No, come on. I have nothing.
Set it in all dry and crispy.
For my teammates.
Yeah, but real. Now, by the way, yeah. So, are you training with all men over at
Millennium?
Yeah, I train with guys.
And
Just
then
not her boyfriend.
Are you still living at home with your parents?
He's got to be real jealous.
No, I rent a room.
So you live in like a little room by yourself, or with the boyfriend lives with you?
Yeah, we have a big room, and we live in this room. But we have like 2 other roommates. We're all friends, so it's pretty cool. It's like we don't. I don't know.
Is it like a dirty, messy fighter house?
Yeah. Does he have any kids?
No.
Oh, okay.
But he has like 20 dogs, so it makes up for it.
You got a lot of dogs. Okay.
Do your roommates have to take the trash out because they're scared of you?
No, they don't do shit around the house.
Are they fighters too?
God.
No, they're just like regular people.
All right, so you and your boyfriend live together. He's a fighter. You're a fighter. You train all day. Do you have to have a regular job or no?
People are bullying them.
No, I've made enough money so that I don't have to.
So you don't have a job. You guys have sex how often? 3 times a week?
Who initiates it?
Yeah, camp.
It's just because you're at camp. Now, how did he pick
Wait,
you
does
up?
that mean less or more during camp?
Yeah,
Wait.
good point. Good question, CB. Do you have sex more
Good cardio.
or less?
Less.
Oh wow. All right.
Don't cheat yourself. You shouldn't cheat yourself like
Because
that.
you're tired. Yeah, that makes sense. She's tired.
Yeah, it's like 6 hours a day is hard.
Now, will you come to? I coach a wrestling team in Brentwood. Will you come and guest coach and coach the kids for a day?
Brentwood,
Yeah.
you want me to coach the kids for this?
Yeah, come in and like be our special guest coach.
But you have to slam Adam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can do that.
I'm not kidding. I'm gonna call it like next week. What are you doing next Monday or Wednesday?
She's sick.
I'm sick that day.
Oh no! Come on. We have. Look, I had Bubba Jenkins. I had Ashley Evans Smith came and coached today. Bubba Jenkins came and coached. Aljamain Sterling came and coached. Vince
did
came
he?
and coached.
Yeah, I went there one time.
Andrew came and helped coach. Ellenberger came and coached. Come on, get back to the kids, Tatiana.
No, I get back all the time. I'm a good coach myself.
Good. Well, you can help. coach
Your
my
team
kids.
against his team. Winner take all.
All right.
I was thinking about being sick.
Oh, nice. I like it. All right, cool. Now Vince over here, he's a single guy. His ex-girlfriend cheated on him, even though they were going to orgies together. He's a really good
There's
guy.
rules to it, okay, Adam?
Yeah, he's a really good guy. Do you have any hot friends?
Yeah, but I can't mention them over the phone. It's in private.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we could privately whore your friends out to me. That's fine.
Yeah. Now, how many dates will they put out? Are they girls that put out right away, or do you have to like wine and dine them?
Yeah, because I put it on the first day, honestly.
Yeah, he puts out right away.
Kind of a hooer.
After that stuff, what the heck?
Now, what's your boyfriend's name?
Chris Sykes.
No, yeah.
Sykes, yeah.
Now, how long did it take for Chris Syke to get in there? Like, was it like?
What the heck? A whole 5 years. Still haven't done it yet.
Oh, bullshit.
You were dating for 4 years, you said.
Yeah, 4 years. Added a year. No. I'm actually curious.
It's past 12 o'clock. It's 5 years now.
You're a chick. You're a quality girl. You're a world medalist. I mean, this is gold medal. Putang here. So.
Yeah, how many cars have you bought without test driving it? Don't lie to us.
How many? Like, was it? Are you like a third date girl? Did it take them like a couple months? Or?
Oh, it took a long time.
Yeah, it took a long time. She's a girl that laughs and giggles.
Yeah.
I'm way too shocked.
She's like, I made this son of a bitch
All
wait.
right, okay. I got it. Okay. All right. Well, listen, Tatiana, you're an inspiration to so many people. You're a great fighter. You're beautiful.
And you're fun.
You're fun. Yeah. This guy better treat you right, because if not, Vince is here.
And I'm a lightweight.
So
Well, thank you.
we would love to have you come and coach the kids one day, and keep up the great work.
And hopefully
All
back
right,
on the
well, let me
podcast.
know what day works for you.
Thank you, Tatiana.
The day you're sick.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Alrighty then.
Bye.
I'll see you.
Bye. All right, that was Tatiana Suarez.
My phone now.
Where can people follow her?
Oh, that is your phone.
You can follow Tatiana because she only has like 7,000 followers or something. And this is ridiculous. But CB, let us know where.
That's all I got.
Yeah, I know, but you weren't a world champion. You didn't win tough. You lost to Chiesa, right?
No, Al Iaquinta.
Oh, Al. By the way, you've been calling out Al left and right.
Yeah, he doesn't want to fight me.
Let's call up Al.
Yeah, call Al. Do you have his number? I think I have his number.
I have his number. Yeah.
Now, do you think he's
Let's
actually
harass him.
He's a good friend of
scared
mine.
to fight you, for real?
I don't think he's scared to fight me, but I think he knows that if he fights me, there's a good chance he'll get his head knocked off. Because when me and him fought on the Ultimate Fighter, I was injured in that fight, and he barely survived. So
I got a fight for Vince right here. Beat Shannon Rich for $50,000.
Oh, I'm down.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
This is real. This
Isn't that the
real.
guy that has like 100, like 300 fights or something?
Yes.
Yeah, and like
226 MMA fights.
Yeah, and he,
Like 170
Going
losses
on on the
probably.
East Coast.
Yeah.
Whoever beats him gets $50,000.
Are you serious?
Dude,
I'll take that. Shannon
just
Rich.
change your name.
I'd
Change your name so nobody knows who you are.
I'd
Oh, does
fight
that mean
him.
just a normal person?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Andrew wants to fight.
Andrew, get some. I'll split it
Andrew.
with you.
I'll
Split it with you.
What is that? I
I'll
can't
be in
see
your
it.
quarter.
It's
No, but I think he's fighting a girl now. He's in that new gender war thing. It's like
I don't think he's the one fighting the girl.
oh. By the way, you can follow Tatiana.
What's the
That's
challenge?
not okay.
By the way, you can
It's
follow.
beat Shannon Rich, and you get $50,000.
That can't. Who's wasting 50 grand?
He is. It's his money.
Oh, it's his
purse.
money.
Yeah, he's gonna give up his purse.
Yeah. You gotta put it up, and then you win it back.
You got to put up 50 grand?
No, I don't know.
kidding. By the way, Tatiana, you
I'll
can
take that bet. Shit.
I killed Shannon Rich.
Hold up. By the way, you can follow Tatiana.
I don't even
at
train anymore.
TSP.
Neither does
MMA.
Shannon.
Shut the fuck up. You can follow
Wow.
Tatiana at TSP MMA 115. All right.
Good Adam goes bad.
Yeah, you could follow her. But,
I'm going to have to cut out the whole interview.
No, you're not. Are you really?
Oh, we'll see.
Oh, what a dick.
All right. So, let's talk about some.
We'll
of the
see how
fights.
that audio comes out of that giant speaker.
I think it could
Oh
be
yeah.
okay.
We'll see how.
Can you hear it in the headphones? Does the headphones as like our voices?
It's pretty bassy, but we'll see. Yeah,
Oh God. We're trying here. We're trying.
we're trying. That's all that matters. It's just
If only
effort.
we had Bluetooth.
So, by the
You
way,
need Wi-Fi.
Rachel
Yeah, Wi-Fi.
Ostovich looked great. She won her fight last week.
Which kind of look? Look in the fight or look in her
She might
appearance?
be one of the best looking girls in the UFC. She has like
Yes.
an exotic look to her. She wears too much makeup though. I fucking hate it when girls
Yeah,
wear
I don't like that either.
too much lipstick.
When you could see it,
It looks tranny like. Well, you can't say
it
that.
does.
It looks transgender like.
looks transformer like.
It looks. I apologize to any. I know actually there's a.
She's a Decepticon.
Optimus Prime
She looks
looking
like a
motherfucker.
Decepticon.
There's actually a transgender that listens to our show, by the way.
Just
loves
one.
Our show. Or
Just
I'm sure there's
one.
a couple, but Shay, if you're out there, because she's super cool.
It's all in good fun.
And she's a big fan of our show.
Don't be a.
So,
What kind of racist would that be if you're like, you know what I mean? For
That's not a race.
Sexual, no, wait, but you know what I mean? Like
but lipstick.
sexual orientation racist.
Well, but when I was
Discrimination,
growing up,
I
when I was
guess.
growing up, you could like Oriental wasn't a negative term, and then it became a negative term.
It's still not. I say it all the time.
But people get very.
Is it? Is that negative?
Yeah,
Oriental?
people get very
think it
offended by
is.
that.
What, like,
don't like
how
it,
would you
yeah.
like? How do you not offend that kind of like? You know what I mean? Like an Oriental person, how do you not offend them by
Asian?
calling them
You say Asian?
They don't like to go
That to me, that's kind of racist. You know what I mean? That's just as racist
That's just a
as being Oriental.
continent. That's just a continent.
Yeah.
It's like
I'm just saying what I'm trying. Like, my case in point is that he's not saying it. He just when you grow up certain terms, no one says you can't say it. It gets sort of lobbed into the language.
Yeah,
And then all of a
like-
sudden, one day people are like, "Oh, you can't say tranny," and you're like, "Okay, I don't want to offend you. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
I just no one explained that to me for the last 10 years."
Well, I also when you guys, well, you're older than me, but like when I was a kid, it was just I think LGB community, like lesbian, gay, bisexual. Now it's like LGBTQ
there's, like,
FIR
every fucking
Yeah, but no one.
Seven.
Yeah, but
alphabet.
if you say LGBT, people don't get offended. People
No,
get
I
offended.
know, but like it's expanded to the point where there's so many more categories
there's just
now.
two more. There's what T and Q, right?
But when I was at my wife's house and her grandparents were like, "Yeah, our neighbors are Oriental," and then and it was just like silence. And we're like, "But I don't think they meant it."
That's not racist.
My
to me.
my
Like,
grandmother
that's
was
not racist.
in her 80s when she died, and
politi-
this
it's
was like a few
politically
years ago.
incorrect. It's
I don't
just-
care about
And
that bullshit either.
She
Like,
still
fuck you,
said
libtards.
colored
Everyone
people.
talk. What was that?
Like my grandmother who passed a few years ago, she was in her 80s, but she said, you know, oh my colored friend so and so or my nurse, I'm like, you can't say that, grandma. Like you can't say that.
Yeah, you want to hear something funny that I do to my grandma? So my grandma is like, she's straight Italian, like you know, like she speaks English, but it's like really broken up. So me and my brother, we were for AAA. We have a black friend. He's half black, half white. So we brought him to my grandma's house, and we're messing around with my grandma. So like me and brother, hey grandma, look, we brought you a slave. My grandma, she thought we were being serious because she's like just so old school.
Oh
You know what I mean? She took him in the kitchen or in the garage, which is her kitchen, and made him wash the dishes. And me and my brother were like laughing at him. You know, because we were messing with my grandma, but like
What about the guy who actually
Her generation.
Did he wash the dishes?
yeah, he did.
He was playing along with this.
Yeah, and he's my friend. You know what I mean? But like that's the kind of relationship I have with like.
Did he
every
run
guy.
out at the
How old is
end
your
of
grandma?
it?
300 years old.
No, she's in her. She just had a birthday in August. She's 70s.
Why would she think that slavery was still around?
Well, she doesn't think it's slavery, but she just like she played along with what we were saying. You know what I mean? And she kind of thought we were serious because that's like.
But
She's
shouldn't she
old, you
know
what I mean?
that
She
you didn't
doesn't
really bring her a
know.
slave?
Was she around?
She's
when
not. She's not
Abraham
up to like the reality of life and the way things are now. Like
That's fucking
completely,
straight.
you know what I
That's a
mean?
little weird. That, like,
Yeah, but there's
She-
people like that. There's people.
yeah,
like
your
that.
grandmother. I mean,
Yeah.
you should have questions like why is there a slave here? Like, what kind of grandma do you have?
I don't know, but like I grew up around stuff like that. You know what I mean? So like I don't particularly like engage myself in people saying, "Oh, that's racist" and whatnot. Because to me, it's all in good fun. You know what I mean?
Of
Like
course.
I equally hate every race the same, and I'll make fun of my own race and every other race.
Definitely, you're that guy, Vince, that has that story that like you're like, "Hey man, I stole a pack of gum," and you're like, "Oh yeah, man, a guy gave me back change 7-Eleven. He gave me 5. He really owed me 3." And you're like, "I killed 6 people last week."
But it was an accident. It's okay.
Gano killed the guy.
I love Lamp.
It's fucking
But
crazy.
you know, like, I don't know. I think that kind of stuff, people get too serious about shit, and they just need to let that kind of stuff go.
I just think sometimes it's confusing. So the point was that I didn't mean to offend any transgenders. But anyway, the whole point was that Rachel needs to stop wearing all that makeup because there's no reason. My wife does it too. I'm like, you do not need this makeup on you. You don't need it.
Yeah, I don't like that either. I'm not a fan of that either.
Less is more.
My girlfriend paints it on, yeah.
Why? I used to have a girl that would take showers, it would bleed all over her face. First I wanted to kiss her, and she became Kiss. It was fucking ridiculous. So I'm telling you, who else looked good is Roxanne. I was happy for Roxanne. That was a good fight.
Yeah.
I thought that fight was actually maybe even going into the last round. But then the judges gave Nico more rounds. But Roxanne is an example of somebody who you just keep trying as hard as you can.
She's a pioneer.
And
Yeah,
but
she's
also
older too, isn't he? How old is she now?
I don't know. Her and like the Shayna Baszlers and like they're the
mid-thirties.
pioneers.
Yeah,
of
she's like close to
women's.
40, huh?
But
Yeah.
she
started fighting when I first started fighting. She
Fuck, so am I,
never
though.
stopped.
But on the Ultimate Fighter, people were like,
She never
Ultimate Fighter, people were like,
Never let go, Andrew. Never let go.
Never.
when she was getting fucked up by Raquel Pennington, people were like, maybe it's time to hang up. This
People have been saying it about
the
her.
sport has passed you, and obviously she didn't listen, and I'm happy because she's a nice person, and she won $100,000. And I'm
She
happy.
is actually a really cool person.
Yeah.
She'll forever be a UFC title contender, challenger.
She challenged for the Invicta too, and like people were like, "Oh, she's never going to win the title. She needs to stop." And it's like, look what it got her. She ended up in a title shot for the UFC inaugural champion. That's amazing.
Now Ben Askren is convinced that they actually made this Ultimate Fighter and put it sort of a kind of a weak division so that Paige Van Zant can now come in and become the champion.
I have 2 words that counter that.
What's that?
Valentina Shevchenko.
Yeah,
She's
Paige is
dropping to
not going to
25.
get.
But are they gonna let her fight for the title? Or are they gonna give it to Paige Van Zant, or the winner of Paige Van Zant versus?
Paige kept saying, I'm getting the winner, and then Dana in the post-fight scrum was like,
Bullshit.
No, she's not. Like, how?
She's getting Jessie Jess, and Jessie Jess might back beat her.
St.
Didn't
Louis.
Paige? Didn't she lose her last fight?
She's lost the last 2 out of 3.
Who did she fight last? She lost against Michelle Watterson, then she fought again and lost, right?
She lost.
She lost to Watterson, and she lost to Rose.
That's right.
Yeah. I'll tell you,
Rose is a beast, dude.
Rose
Like,
is a
I knew
beast.
from the get-go that chick was gonna eventually beat.
Yeah, and speaking
Joanna.
of which, it may not be Joanna and Rose again.
Oh, yeah,
They're
yeah.
talking about Tisha Torres because she won, but
I'll tell you who
I
impressed
think
me.
they should give her a rematch, though, honestly, because she was pretty dominant, and that was a really quick fight.
1,000%. I'll tell you who impressed me a lot. It was Screech McGregor. This guy fucking O'Malley. I was obviously
Can't
pulling
sleep
for
on that guy.
Terrion. Terrion's been on the pod. You were there with him, right?
Yeah, I was rooting for him too.
He's a cool guy.
going for Terrion.
But I still think that this guy O'Malley, and if they put him against a wrestler who could hit hard, he might have a tough time because he does some really cool, fun stuff.
He's super unorthodox and
Yeah, he was good on the Contender
to
Series.
predict.
Contender
yeah.
Series, but what's his name? Terrion's wrestling is not very good. That's his one weakness. In fact, before his last fight, his coach called me up and says, "Do you have Bubba Jenkins' number?" Like a week before his fight. I'm like, "Yeah, you might want to took care of this issue."
Prepared a little sooner.
Yeah. So, but I hope Terrion looked really good. I think if Terrion had a little more power, he would have closed the show against this.
So what are those dudes? 35?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a hell of a fight, but I think, Bisping said it best. O'Malley's a great fighter, but he's a show pony. Like, it's cool to come out with, like, all those crazy moves and whatever, but if you even get close to breaking top 10, top 5 in that division, these guys, it's not going to fly. You fight a Cody Garbrandt or a TJ Dillashaw, you throw one of those giant wheel kicks, they're either going to take you down hard or they're going to wait and then throw a heavy shot that's going to knock you on your
time 'em.
ass.
But if they keep putting him up against, they should put him up against Bruce Leroy. That would be a good fight.
Oh my god.
Put him up against like
He's tough as hell. He looked
that
good.
would be for sure. No one would know how
that
to
China
beat him.
fight.
What?
When he fought in China, Bruce Leroy.
Yeah, I think Leroy O'Malley would be a fun fight.
Wait, O'Malley's 135?
Yeah, what's Leroy's 45?
I was going to say...
45. He was 55, wasn't he?
Yair's 45, huh?
Yeah, but put him against stand-up guys for a while because I think eventually...
Just fun fights for a little bit.
Yeah, what happened to him? He hasn't fought since he lost, huh?
Yeah, you don't need to challenge that guy yet. Just give him a
Rodriguez?
couple of fun fights and then challenge him after he wins maybe 2.
Let him climb the ranks, build up a little bit of a fan base, and
I was happy. I was happy for George Mearshart. He's a fan of the podcast. Gerald Mearshart, yeah, nice guy. He's 3-1 in the UFC. A guy who like is under the radar. There's a bunch of guys like that where they need to start pushing these guys.
I feel like the UFC has too many people, honestly, right now.
Yeah,
I feel like there's just too many people.
Yeah, but but they kept you around.
I know, not like I'm honestly surprised sometimes because how long I've been out, but I still think they have too many people. Like, because I've been trying to fight since June, my last fight, and I haven't heard shit. Like, I was trying to fight 2 weeks later. Like, give me a fight, cowboy run. You know what I mean? I want to fight like
Get
4
that
times this
Iaquinta
year.
fight.
Yeah, I want to get Al. Al won't fight me though. You know what's funny is I have a friend
Should we call
Al.
Al right now?
I have a friend Al.
Good.
I have a friend Al who trains with Al, and he had a comment. He posted a picture with him and Al, and I commented on Al's a bitch.
Is it Altakin Oskalic?
Yeah, Alf, yeah, the Turkish delight.
I wrestled with that dude
He's
in
a cool
college.
dude. I love him. He's so cool.
Yeah, he wrestled with me at Nassau Community College.
He's a good dude.
He was one of my coaches on Ultimate Fighter. I was an Ultimate Fighter because he was in the
Andrew
camp.
Sanchez Ryan James fight was sick.
That was one of the best fights I've ever seen in my life.
That was a crazy fight.
Which one?
The Andrew Sanchez and Ryan James fight.
The kid who won the Ultimate Fighter.
You thought he actually Sanchez and Tatiana won together. They won the same season.
Was this his first fight since winning?
No, he had. Didn't he fight Spicely? Didn't he fight Eric Spicely?
Did he win or lose?
I think he beat Spicely. I think he knocked him out.
And then, so I'm moving right along. In Bellator, Caveman won. Chitty Bang won. Was happy about that.
He broke his foot. Bad.
Who's the caveman you talking about? Sam Celia?
No, Dave Rickles. Cecilia won also, though.
Yeah, Cecilia won too.
Yeah.
Dave Rickles.
Of course, Bellator doesn't tell you that these fights are on until they're over. Or
they tell you they're on when they give you the spoilers.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I have a guy in Bellator. They email me. I'm on the press thing telling me who won before the fights aired, and it's in the header.
I hate that shit.
And I'm like, come on, man.
No spoiler alert.
And I don't want to piss them off. But anyway, it's Glory. Let's talk about Chris Camozzi.
Awesome.
I wrote a joke about it. I go, dude, he got taken down 7 times in his kickboxing fight. But Camozzi won. You were there.
He fought amazingly. He fought a guy that I don't think was. I think it was a little bit of a mismatch.
A little bit, but the guy was 9-1. Who are the 9 guys?
He was
that
a
guy
lot
beat?
bigger than him. It just didn't look like the same weight class. It looked a little off. The guy was exhausted after the first round.
Yeah,
exhausted. And Camozzi had a lot of glory.
What weight were they fighting at?
85, I think.
But I think Chris has a future in this. I mean, I don't know.
He definitely does. Yeah. He definitely does, and he's got a great training partner in Dustin Jacoby. He could definitely contend for the title. Al just said LMAO.
Ask him if he wants to do a press conference right now between Vinc Pichel
Press
and Al.
conference.
All right,
Fight me, Al.
Let's talk about the UFC 218. Holloway Aldo. Aldo is not the same guy that he once was.
No.
For a while, and everybody's like, no, he beat Edgar.
No.
You know what it is?
Like, yeah, he beat Edgar, but he got owned up by Holloway twice. And Connor broke him, man. That was his whole mental just was shattered.
He didn't look the same. He wasn't moving the same.
I honestly think it was
throw a lot
USADA
of
that
leg
broke him.
kicks. A lot of people are saying that too. That USADA kind of.
I think USADA killed a lot of Brazilian fighters. I think that's what happened to the Brazilian guys.
And then Yancey versus Oliveira was.
Is he still talking? Is he talking shit over there?
Was the greatest fight I've ever seen in my life.
Fight of the year.
I said you want to jump on FaceTime. He said absolutely not.
Oh, come on.
Is that Al or
Good sport
Altakin?
about it.
Yeah, I can't.
Is it Al
I
or
said he really
Oskar?
wants to fight you though.
I know.
That's crazy.
Medeiros and Oliveira was one of the.
Tell him I
that
won't
better
make
get
fun
fight
of
the
him.
year.
Oh, yeah.
It has to get fight of the year. I know Gaethje Alvarez was amazing, but Yancey and Oliveira was one of the craziest fights. I was posting every fucking social media I could get to. If you're not watching this or you missed it, a friend of mine texted me after Alvarez Gaethje. He goes, "Fight of the night for sure." I said, "I guess you didn't see the Fox Sports prelims." He goes, "No, I got to go back and watch them on DVR." Text me like an
Hold
hour.
on, we got
and a
Al
half
Iaquinta on
later.
FaceTime right now. Al, what's up, buddy? It's Adam Hunter. What's
Is that
up?
Al?
You're,
What's up, Al?
Okay,
You retired? Did you retire?
Okay, hold on. Oh, fuck. All right. So
What'd he say?
Did he just hang up?
Yeah, no. I think we got disconnected. Hold on. We're going. This is an impromptu.
I want a house.
Okay,
Al, what's up?
You ever seen this?
Al.
I can't hear. My phone doesn't work. But no, Vince, I really appreciate it, bro. But I got shit to do. I don't fight anymore.
Aw.
But Al, you're a great.
That's too bad. What the fuck?
All right, fuck. All right, that was. Fuck, man. He retired.
Oh, you should let me retire you, Al.
He better not retire. Really?
Dude, he's got to sell houses to fucking Beverly Hills Housewives over there, wherever the fuck he
Fuck.
lives.
Really? Damn.
That sucks. He didn't retire, did he? Is he
retire?
bullshitting? He's probably just talking shit.
He might be retired.
You should let me retire you, Al. Come on.
Oh man! All right, so Al Iaquinta, you heard it here first. Al is retired. You heard this is
Next, he's going to be a Bellator heavyweight alternate.
Selling tiny homes.
Breaking news on the MMA Roasted podcast.
Al Iaquinta
retired, not completely retired from fighting.
I feel like I should tweet right now. A rip Al Iaquinta.
Please don't retire.
No, and then next
retire
week,
in peace.
Next week, we're going to find out he's an alternate for the Bellator heavyweight tournament.
Yeah, Al would probably win. All right, so yeah, Felice Herrig versus Courtney Casey. What do you
say?
Nothing.
I've always
Fucking
wanted.
say it, Andrew.
I've always wanted to see those girls finger each other, but not like that. That was
Yeah, that mid-fight finger bang was not what Greg Wilson was talking about.
That was what?
No, that's what you said.
Oh yeah, no. But I mean, look.
Like that fighting that girls do where they fight or they wrestle and then the winner like bangs the other one with a dildo or whatever. Have you heard of that shit?
Ultimate.
What's it called?
Ultimate Surrender.
I don't know the name of it. Yeah, but like,
what is
these girls like wrestle, they grapple, and then the winner like bangs the other one with a dildo or whatever.
Oh,
like,
I know two. I know two of my friends date girls that do that.
Well,
oh, for real?
Yeah,
You have classy friends.
I knew some chick that did that. She actually went to my gym. That's how I found out about it.
They're both the one had a kid with one, and the other one is pregnant with one.
Wow, those are definitely
She
the
got a
girls.
kid impregnated from a dildo?
Those are the girls you
With the dildo?
porn stars.
They do
those are the ones you want to knock up.
They
All
only
right,
do
so-
they only do the girl on girl stuff.
Oh yeah.
They only do girl on girl stuff.
It's called Ultimate
Yeah.
Surrender. All right. I still can't
They
believe
give out
Al
belts
Iaquinta
though.
retired.
They give out belts for that Ultimate Surrender
Oh,
stuff.
Do they?
Yeah. Well, CB
Yeah.
has one right here actually.
Fuck you,
Big
dude.
old dick coming off the end of it.
It's got your logo on it too. That's crazy. You,
See, that's the thing,
you
CB.
sponsor that?
If you showed up three days early to get Ultimate Surrender autographs, I'd be like, I would have fucking respect for you. But
Dude, I've already had Tanya bend me over a couch. I don't need to be near girls with fucking dildos on, okay? Let's
Well, here's
not
my
do
question. Did you like it?
I knew it.
that wasn't a no.
He didn't say no for the record.
Sergio Pettis Cejudo. My thoughts on that. Look, I know people are going to boo Cejudo for that, but that's exactly what he should have done.
Pseudo did
that.
a
What
good
else
fight.
is he supposed to do?
That was a
That's
good
what he
kick.
does.
Ahead a bunch of times?
He got the win.
And I picked Pettis.
Yeah, but he also picked McGregor beating Floyd Mayweather in a boxing match. So your picks are.
Well, his license plate is kind of also.
Paul Felder.
He's a big
how the-
McGregor fan.
Paul Felder
That was weird.
has the craziest neck in the history of sports. That dude got choked out 7 times and didn't go out.
Except when Oliveira tapped, the ref let it go on for another 6 elbows. to
Yeah,
the
that
head.
was strange. And then Angela Magana, like we talked about, look, she's now lost 6 in a row.
Thank you for the titty.
That fight wasn't competitive. It was competitive for like 30 seconds. She looked actually okay on her feet. But you can't train by yourself in Puerto Rico in like a high school gym or something, for this level. This is a different level.
Yeah.
At one point, Magana could do it, and she's become so enamored with this personality on Twitter and this and that. It's like, you got to remember what got you there. At one point, she was a good fighter. And she's still a good fighter. She'll beat up most girls in the world, but not in the UFC right now.
Is that the first ever pause for
Nipples?
nip slip? Like,
I
that
don't
shit
know.
was crazy.
Yeah, I think it was like when you're getting your nipples slipped. That shit happens. It's
She was
when
wearing a bra, though.
but you're getting
When you're
fucked
getting
up.
your nipple slit.
I mean, when you're getting fucked up and that
But they
happens.
don't, do they? Or they might have to wear like a
it's
sports
just a
bra.
nipple.
Yeah, it was just
She
a
didn't.
nipple.
She wasn't wearing. She was wearing one top, no bra under it. Like Misha Tate and those girls said, we wear 2 tops and like a
Yeah.
bra or 2 to fight.
How do you know?
because they
Gotta
Were
contain the
were you
titties.
underneath the cage when this happened, or how do you know this happened? How do you know what they were? How many bras Misha Tate
Because
wears?
they've gone out
room
and
video
said
camera.
it after Elizabeth Phillips and Jessamine Duke.
Yeah, that was a popular topic of asking girls what they do to prepare for that.
Yeah,
not
they
to
wear like
happen.
double tops and stuff like that. I think I'm getting information. Overeem is waking up right now.
Oh God. Yeah, that's it. People kept hitting me up with like to retweet their memes of Overeem's. Like, I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not.
Whoever took that picture, if it was Josh Hedges or whoever, like that was a really good photo. Like he caught that at the perfect opportunity.
But the thing is, I'm not retweeting a guy getting
I'm sorry,
knocked down the ground. It's I don't. I can't do it.
I shared the video, but I didn't share no.
Sharing the video is one thing, but people are putting him like his head rolling or like all kinds of funny.
Sub-Zero.
I don't like showing that. Even when I did Glory Kickboxing this weekend, I'm also handling the camera switching. We had a couple girls get knocked out where they were like almost in a stretcher. I'm like, let's cut away from that. No one needs to see their family member or their friend or their teammate or just another human being passed out like that.
Well, I don't even mind that because it's part of the sport. Is when you make fun of someone, like you make fun of Bisbing getting knocked out by Henderson, or when you turn into a joke.
Yeah.
To me, it's just adding or Cormier crying.
Well, that's why you should cut away from it.
Page to Alistair Overeem died on this day.
Oh fuck!
Like I tweeted something. I don't know. It didn't get seen a lot, but it was about Gaethje. It was like 2 minutes before he got knocked out, but I didn't know. Like, of course, I didn't know he was about to get knocked out. But I put Justin Gaethje would be a great porn star because he takes a lot of shots to the head.
Right.
And like, I didn't mean anything against him, but he was just getting cracked and not falling over, and then he got knocked out. And I'm like, well, that's not going to get a lot of good reception.
Yeah. I can't believe you thought of that joke. No one ever has heard that before. All right. So anyway, listen. Let's talk about the. Let's talk about
who's the comedian here.
This week, Fresno.
Are you going?
No, I'm not going. You going?
Yeah.
Really? You driving to Fresno?
Yeah.
What's it? 4 hours?
It's like
I don't know, 3
4
something like
Nice. You got good tickets?
I think I'm press passed for this one.
Whoa! Look at you.
Oh, fancy
Calm
pants.
down. I'm trying to shoot some with Aljamain.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Aljamain, by the way, has 19 brothers and sisters.
I bumped into him.
Yeah.
I bumped into him over the weekend at Triton Fights in Long Island, and he had a lot of his family there.
He had 19 brothers. Is his brother still fighting? His brother fought.
Troy?
Yeah, his brother's a
Troy
fighter.
still fights.
Yeah.
I saw Troy training on Aljamain's Instagram.
He's like an early pro, right?
Yeah, his first fight I think was a draw or something.
He might fight in Triton. A lot of those guys are doing the local Long Island MMA thing.
So who's Alejandro Perez?
He was on, if I'm not mistaken, one of the tough Latin Americas.
He's fighting Yuri Alcantara. Who's going to win that fight?
Yuri hasn't looked good, and I mean, he hasn't looked like himself in a while. I think Uriah Faber kind of beat him up pretty badly a while ago, and he hasn't been the same. Perez is a tough dude, gritty. I don't know, man. I think it could go either way.
All right. Well, thanks. All right, Chris Grusenmeicher. He's the guy trying to Ultimate Fighter, right? Team Alpha
He was
Male guy.
on it.
Yeah, he was on Ultimate Fighter, Team Alpha Male. Good on the tough guy.
I've seen Chris fight for almost 10 years. He's good.
He's fighting Davey Ramos, the Tasmanian Devil.
Davi Ramos.
Who's gonna win that fight?
I go Grits.
Grits. I like Grits.
He's a good wrestler. He'll just.
Now, why have you seen him for 10 years?
He was fighting for a long time in the Boston, like New Hampshire scene, and he he had a break for some. He took like a couple years off, and then he came back on the Ultimate Fighter, I believe.
He was on the Ryan Hall season, right?
Yeah, he had a couple years off. No one saw him for years, and then he popped up on the Ultimate Fighter with like a freaking beard and stuff.
He's at Alpha Male, right now?
I'm not sure where he's at now.
I think he left Alpha Male after the season. I think he went back to like the Midwest.
I'll tell you who. I'm doing a show in Fresno Wednesday night at the Standard. Tomorrow night, Liz Carmouche is coming, and my boy Eric Anders is coming. Your boy. He's fighting. His nickname is Your Boy. Yeah, the guy played football for Alabama. He's 8-0 with 8 knockouts.
That just makes me think of Jay-Z.
He's fighting Marcus Perez.
It's a boy.
Who's 9-0. Do you know anything about Marcus Perez, CB?
No.
All right, so I got your boy.
His name.
I got your boy winning.
Yeah, I think
I got your
Eric
boy.
Anders. Yeah.
I read an article about him.
now?
I read an article that the first time he ever walked into an MMA gym, Walt Harris was there, and they go get in the ring with Walt Harris, and they sparred. He never trained before in his life. And he said Walt Harris beat the living shit out of him. And then he came back, and now he's fucking 8-0.
Still probably easier than walking into
I had a good time.
ATT.
Can I come back?
Yeah, which is crazy. I mean, what kind of gym was that? He was like, yeah, my gym doesn't do that.
What about the ones that feed new guys to Hector Lombard?
Yeah, I heard a story where a fucking parent wanted to punish his kids and made him spar with Hector Lombard at ATT.
I would never do anything wrong again if I got in trouble and they sent me, go spar with him. Like, fuck no.
I would call parental services so fast. I get that. fucking father taken away. So Scott Holtzman.
My parents are beating me, but they're trying to get me beat.
Is that hot sauce?
Hot sauce is fighting Daryl Horcher, who's the guy that burned to fight Khabib, right? On short notice. Didn't go very well. But Horcher does have a win over EJ Brooks, who I like. I like Holtzman in this fight. You?
I'd probably go Holtzman on this one too.
Going with the sauce.
Hot sauce.
Marlon Moraes versus Aljamain. I like Aljamain. I think Moraes lost to Dotson, and I just think he's.
What a fast turnaround is that, huh?
Yeah.
Is that 4 weeks or something like that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Who do you like in this fight?
I got Aljo.
Aljo?
Yeah, I think his wrestling is going to be a little
Doesn't
too
use
much.
his wrestling anymore though.
He used it against Benin Barao.
The problem with him is he's too ripped. Okay, really, I'm telling you, the judges see him and they go, "This guy has like a 12-pack. He's black.
He's supposed
good."
to win.
And they go, "He's." And then if the other guy keeps it close, they give it to the other guy because he looks like he should win. I told him.
I like your theory.
I told him that he
knows
agreed
what
with
fucking
it.
judges are
He
thinking.
actually he has a couple split decisions that should have went his way because the other guy looked like
His body.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
In a weird way, I think this is a better matchup for Aljo this weekend than his original.
He's too ripped.
I'm telling you.
Of all the things he could use to determine that factor.
You don't think? Trust me. Look, if Ngannou fights Roy Nelson, right, and which is not going to happen, and it's close, who are the judges going to give it to? Fucking Roy Nelson. They're gonna be like, that fucking guy should not even be in there with this guy. I'm giving it to him.
That's a good example.
But it's not even like it's in your whatever your psychosis. It's not even like something that you actually like factor in. How does he look?
You're saying he deserves it, you know?
Your whole life, you're brought up. The one guy's a fat schlub, the other guy's ripped. The fucking ripped guy's gonna win. It's just that's the way we fucking live. That's why you can fuck hot chicks. You're not supposed to. All right. Anyway,
Thanks,
all right.
Thanks, Adam.
But you ever see a girl? I'm telling you, a lot of times I've seen hot chicks with like average dudes, right? And obviously a lot of them have money and shit. But a lot of times, like the hot chick will feel bad for them. They're like, "Oh, he couldn't get a girl like me.
Pity.
I'm gonna fuck him because pity guy." Meanwhile, it's so weird. That doesn't happen too often. But I'm saying that there are times where that kind of thing happens. Or I've seen stranger things where like the guy, either the pity fuck or just someone gets someone out of their league. Or you ever have this one where the guy has a really hot ex-girlfriend, and then the next girlfriend goes out with him who's super hot because he's like, well, if she likes him and because she's competitive with that girl, it's like almost.
I don't know about all that.
I'm telling you, when I was
obey the hot crazy matrix.
when I was in college, right, and you would see a sorority, right, you would always go for the hottest chick in the sorority, right, because
I
every
usually go
girl.
for the hottest 3 because then I have choices.
But then every other girl that's not as hot as her will be like competitive with her and go, oh, she fucked him. But if you start with the fucking mediocre, you're only gonna get worse from there. You're never gonna go from the mediocre chick to the fucking hot chick.
Could go better.
Could go better.
But rarely.
Yeah.
Rarely. I'm telling you, you go with the hottest one. All right, that's my
Half empty guy.
okay, so Jason Knight is taking on Gabriel Benitez.
Pessimist.
Fucking Mowgli. Who's Mowgli, CB?
Benitez?
Yeah.
He's kind of bounced around the UFC. He's 3-2.
Either one.
But he lost. He got knocked out by Andre Fili.
Oh, okay.
But he submitted Sam Cecilio.
Right.
So it's
I like Hick Diaz.
yeah, I definitely think Jason Knight. If Fili knocked him out, and Jason Knight has more power, I think, especially in his hands.
Cub Swanson, Brian Ortega. This fight worries me for Cub.
The line's been moving.
Ortega's so good and young and like in his prime, and Cub. And Cub, like sometimes you don't know what Cub's gonna show up, but he has momentum. He has a kid. He's married to Kendra Perez, who's smoking hot. And he's been looking good. I mean, his last fight, he beat the Korean Wonder Boy, right? Was that his last fight?
No, it was Lobov last
He
fight.
beat Lobov, right? Yeah. I'm pulling for Cub. I want Cub to win.
Cub's the underdog now.
He should be the underdog.
He wasn't for a while, and then the line started moving in the last 2 days, and now Brian Ortega's like a -1.
I hope Ortega fucking got busted.
I got Cub on this one.
Really?
I see him winning, yeah.
Ortega's a cheater, though. He fucking got
I didn't think he
popped
looked
for
that
roids.
great against Guida.
Yeah.
When he fought Guida that time in L.A., I didn't think he looked that amazing. He got a late finish.
Who looked amazing against Guida, though? Guida's the hardest guy to fight in the world.
He's probably the most annoying guy to fight.
Yeah, but Swanson's won his last 4, lost to 2 champions. Goes to Holloway and
he was
only really lost
to
the champions.
yeah.
And he was in a bad place in those times. Like I hung out with him during those times, and he was in the dark. Like this is a whole new Cub Swanson. I hope Cub wins. I remember he's a good sport too.
He lost to Lamas as well, but yeah, he's lost to nothing but top guys.
I remember when I did that show at the UFC Christmas party, and he was in the crowd with Matt Hughes and BJ Penn, and I go, it's great to be here with these legends and Cub Swanson. And he's a good dude though. I love Cub.
I get confused with Cub a lot, so like when I used to do the expos, people would call me Cub, and then I'd be like, oh thanks, and then I think he fought. Who did he fight? I think it was Dennis Seaver.
Yeah,
he fought Dennis Seaver, and then like maybe 5 minutes after the fight, I was in the expo like signing autographs and whatnot. So, oh, that was a good fight, Cub. Like you fucking killed Seaver, yada yada. And I was like, oh, thanks, bro. You know what I mean? I just like
totally just went along with it.
180 like this dude.
Yeah, and then I signed it. I signed his autograph, and then I think I just wrote like I'm not Cub or something like that on it. I didn't sign my name.
I actually know a guy who banged the chick who was convinced he was Nick Swartzen. And the whole time she's like, "Oh my god, I can't," because he's a comic too. And he's like, "I love your comedy." This guy was like an up and coming comic, so he answered her. And then afterwards, she's like, "I can't believe I just fucked Nick Swartzen," and it was not Nick Swartzen.
Man, that's like a distinctly ugly person. Like you would know if it's him or not.
Yeah.
I worry about this fight for Ortega just because Guida kind of rocked him a little bit. Renato Moicano rocked him a little bit. Cub hits way harder than both those guys. It has to get to a point where I think on the ground where Ortega can get the submission and go from there. But I got Ortega. I think he can pull it off. But I like this fight. I think it's one of the 2 most intriguing fights on the card on a kind of a weak card.
I'm kind of rooting for Cub Z, but I think Ortega's going to take it. When he fought against Guida, I thought the same thing. But when Guida fought him, Guida looked good.
Guida's also
not something I say
Guida has
often.
wins over all these people that he shouldn't have. I mean, over RDA. He has wins over Anthony Pettis.
What was the one he just fought and he knocked the dude out? Was that
Lozon?
Lozon.
Yeah.
And you're like, how the fuck did that happen?
By the way, talking about Diego Sanchez, I want to talk about this for a second. So, over the weekend...
Did he compete in something?
He did a really nice thing, right? He fought a kid who I think has Down syndrome. And they had an MMA fight, and the kid won. Yeah, and he raised his hand, and everyone's like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Look, I don't want to knock that. Because I think the heart was in the right place, right?
Yeah, Diego left his arm in there though. So the guy,
but let's just say now,
watch out for that arm bar.
Well, you have to know that guy's not going to be.
But let's just say now, this kid thinks that he's a good
like
fighter.
Kid playing football,
all right?
Just like guiding him.
I don't think he's a fighter. I think it was just like a one-off experience. For this kid.
But now this kid thinks he's tough. And he's gonna get. What if he goes and like picks a fight, or is in somewhere, or like something happens?
I don't think that's.
And then he gets killed because now he thinks he beat Diego Sanchez.
I don't think.
I think he knew, like, especially since like Diego was overselling moves. It was almost like a pro wrestling meets MMA.
So he knew that
the kid threw a teep kick on Diego, and Diego fell back, rolled over, and then got back up.
Okay, fine, but does that kid really know that he didn't really beat Diego Sanchez?
I think he understands that.
You do? You do? Because if he doesn't. We could be setting this kid up for a big...
I think he does.
He was dancing after the fight. And
stuff. He was having fun, but
he's
like
okay.
The other part that the part
you don't think someone should have told him, "Hey, you really didn't win this fight"?
He won the fight.
Okay, but he
won the fight.
Do you think maybe he should have told him like this?
He armbarred him, dude.
All right, fine. I'm just saying. Well, what if the guy now all of a sudden?
You got to be careful in that open guard, man. It's like.
All right, okay. Let's say the guy's on like a train or something, right? And some guy's being disruptive on the train, right? And everybody else knows, like, okay, ignore the guy. This guy's obviously crazy. But now this guy thinks he just beat Diego Sanchez with a teep kick, and he's like, "I'll fight you," and the guy gets murdered. All right, now, like that's. I'm just saying.
You can't blame that on Diego.
The thing that pissed me off about it was the aftermath. Like the video was on Facebook or was on Twitter or whatever, and you go watch the video and you look at the comments, and guys are like, "Fucking Diego lost that fight. He really needs to hang him up. This is retarded. He's gonna get."
You never ever read any comments.
And you're like, "What the fuck?
That's the rule.
Yeah, but that was that kid writing the comment. No,
people are just dumb, dude. Like Diego should hang it up. This is retarded.
Yeah, but you shouldn't. You're better than reading the comments.
Yeah, what are you?
I'm fucking bored. Okay.
No, he has no life. Okay, but
I'm not at work. I don't have shit to do.
That kind of issue.
No, I just hope that the kid doesn't now think he really won the fight and something bad happens and God forbid, like he knows.
I see your point, but I kind of doubt.
Hopefully he's got good people surrounding him and let him know that he did not actually beat him.
Okay, you try tell. You want to be the guy to tell him that. Who's gonna tell him that?
He won.
Yeah, but we also don't know the backstory of
Like,
it
listen,
from the
you won,
beforehand. Of like,
probably
I just
won't
want to
do
get
that.
in there,
Yeah.
have some fun. I've been training. We don't know the backstory of what happened before. I 100% agree with what you're saying because yes, it would end horribly, especially on a New York subway, like you're talking about. But like, we
Do wrestlers get participation trophies?
Wrestlers, kind of now, and it's like not really. I
You
mean,
like take them and slam on the ground, like, you don't deserve this, you schmuck.
it's just way different.
No, it's not.
This is way different than if you lose a
Giving
fight.
someone something they don't
those
deserve?
kids really lost.
Yeah, and you gave them something they didn't deserve. So this is kind of the same. Like,
Yeah, I don't believe in participation trophies either, but that's not the same as somebody now convinced he just beat a UFC fighter and now he's gonna go around and who knows what could happen.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he
what if he turns to a beast and knocks people out now? He's just running
Maybe.
around cracking fools.
Maybe.
But what I'm saying is, like, just like the kids with the participation trophies, like, they know they lost and they still got the trophy, so they're like, I got the trophy, but I still lost. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like
they know
lost,
that
but-
they didn't earn the trophy and that's still like they still lost the fight.
Yeah, but
we're not letting them win. We're not tricking them into thinking that they won because we feel nice
No,
about
but you're
it.
letting them think it's okay that they actually lost because they still get.
You know what would be better if Diego went out there and just beat the crap out of him. No, because then then he could say like, "Hey, I really got into a fight with Diego Sanchez." But no,
that might have been Diego actually right now.
No, that wouldn't. I mean, that wouldn't have been good. That wouldn't have been good either. I'm just saying.
Maybe Diego didn't even know who he was fighting.
I'm just saying, lying to somebody. If he
No,
really,
I get it.
If you're lying to somebody, whether they're special needs or not, and you're pretending they did something they didn't deserve, could have bad impact in the future. I'm just saying. It's like to me, it's sort of.
I agree, but I don't think it's to that extent.
No, but it's also.
He's gonna take it that far.
But I don't like it when like celebrities go to the prom with some nerd or something. Like and they're like, "Hey, you just won a trip to the prom with Jessica Alba." I'm like, no. Like she feels bad for you.
I try to bang her.
She feels bad for you. She doesn't want to go to the prom with you.
Include?
She doesn't want to go. I can't stand people. No, you're not going to hook up with her. First of all, she said you're a teenager. This is sort of like child pornography and
statutory rape.
Yeah, statutory rape. I don't like any of this shit.
Unconsensual sex.
Get stuff you deserve.
Love contract.
Honestly, there was a girl yesterday who does a dime bar and she has spinal bifida, right? And she's a comic and she missed the show. She had her booked on the show. She came late. And then she's like, sorry that I'm not here, and gave me the puppy dog eyes. And I said, no, dude, you were booked on the show. You didn't show up. There was producers in the crowd. You're here with great comics. This is bullshit. And then she walked away upset, and everyone's like, you were kind of hard on her, I just feel bad for her because she... No, fuck that. She is a person, okay? Treat people like people. I don't care if you got fucking spinal bifida. I don't care if you have cerebral palsy. I mean, yeah, be nice to everybody. But
Diego should have ripped that kid's head off.
That fight never should have been sanctioned.
Should have murdered that kid.
That should have
He
been.
should have not walked out of that ring
There was
alive.
nobody wrapping gloves in the back and signing fucking.
That shouldn't have been a sanctioned fight, okay? That should not have been a sanctioned fight. Don't sanction the fight, okay? Have him fight another
It's
kid.
like create a fighter and fucking.
Was that a
UFC.
sanctioned fight?
No, have him fight another kid with cerebral palsy. Have two kids with cerebral palsy in there.
Exhibition.
Have another kid who
Yeah, but
has.
then one has to lose.
Fine, okay, but at least it was it's sort of
They're
like.
gonna go into depression and die a lot quicker.
No, here's no. Diego should train a kid with Down syndrome versus Vince's Down syndrome kid, and then they should have a fight. But they have to be the same weight, and it has to be sanctioned.
Okay, I know it's not real, but have you seen that video of that blind kid that they put in like a football game, and he can't see, and they're like directing this kid, and
yeah, another stupid thing.
Or the one with the I think it was Down syndrome or something, where they give him the ball and the other team's just like diving for him, but completely missing, and he scores.
Yeah, to me that's not right. Have blind kids play blind kids. That'd be a good football game. But the blind kids,
baseball.
That'd be the worst football game.
blind kids running
baseball.
around
You get,
tackling
like,
each other. That would be
plays
great.
and you're like-
You're telling me if they're tackling.
No passing allowed.
Blindfolded boxing.
No passing allowed.
You're telling me you wouldn't smoke weed and watch a blind team versus a blind team in football? And people
I'd
are
watch,
tackling
like, a
their
highlight
teammates
reel
and
of
stuff.
You know what?
Yeah.
Rugby.
I bet we could do that and just tie them all together so they can't get too far from each other. Just keep them in some kind of web so they stay next to each other. Just let blind people play
Yeah, okay,
football.
Charlotte. Isn't that what kind of fucking web? I'm just all right.
Charlotte.
Charlotte's Web. Okay, but listen,
I
no.
get it.
Cotton Eye Joe was way better.
But whatever. I'm just saying that like to me, people with
You're
special
giving him a false sense of reality.
there's a Special
don't know
Olympics
it's real anymore.
for a reason. Look, I don't know. To me, like it's like people who have disabilities should not be treated differently. Okay.
I agree. To an extent.
You climb that ladder in your wheelchair and go fuck yourself.
Anthony Robles had one fucking leg and won the national championship. Okay, people were not. Nick Newell was like 11-1 as a UFC fighter.
Yeah, but then on the other hand, there was a dude, I forgot his name, but he had no hands, no arms,
Yeah,
no
that
legs,
kid.
and you weren't allowed to strike with him. But
You
he took
couldn't-
a
well, you-
regular MMA fight. But
That was stupid
it
too.
was 15 minutes where the dude was just moving to avoid the takedown.
Yeah, I thought maybe if you punt him to the crowd, you could catch a fighter. like a baseball.
Don't kick the baby.
You could take it home.
That's an example where I think like, okay, they shouldn't have done that. Like,
Well, have him fight another kid with another guy with no
they
arms.
put him
and
against a
legs.
real fighter, and they're like, you can't strike against him because he can't defend.
Yeah, don't
but
change
He's gonna
the-
go for a takedown for 15
I'm saying,
minutes.
yeah,
That's a bit much.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
you, I'm
And
saying
he was
you
a good
can't-
wrestler too.
You couldn't armbar him though.
He was. Yeah, he was.
He was a good wrestler.
Yeah.
It's actually a shoulder bar.
He wrestled. He fought in Georgia. It was David Oblis's promotion.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I'm just saying that, like, I don't know. Whatever. What
I'm
I'm
going to hell for this entire time.
Why am I going to hell for?
No, I said we, like me and Vince more than you.
I'm still good. I thought it was cool.
You thought the whole thing with Diego was cool?
Yeah.
I think.
I thought it was cool what he did. I understand your reason.
I think the gesture is cool. I think the heart's in the right place. I think it's a beautiful thing, and the kid was happy.
Yes.
Okay, and that's really all that matters. I do though think that like if that kid really thought he beat Diego
It's a false
Sanchez,
sense of reality.
and it's kind of in some ways mean, in some weird fucking way. Even though everyone's happy, it's also like.
Well, they're kind of
that
putting a
makes me think-
spotlight.
But he's
on
never
him.
going to have the opportunity even to, like fight and maybe win. It's a good
Yeah.
feeling
But
to feel like
he didn't really win. He didn't really win though.
Lifetime opportunity.
He didn't really win, and I think maybe he knows he didn't win.
Or does he?
I don't know. What the fuck do I don't know. Fucking Luke Sanders is fighting Andre Sokamash.
Sukmentov.
Luke Sanders is good, right?
He was supposed to fight Caraway,
Oh, it's got the hair.
and Caraway got replaced by Sukmentov or Sukomtov.
He's the Asian sensation. Is he any good, this dude?
He's had
Luke
I think he's
Sanders?
had one or two in the UFC. He's a decent stand-up fighter, but I don't know. Luke Sanders is a tough dude.
Nah, he's Owen. That dude's 0-2. The guy's fighting Owen Sanders.
What about
Sanders.
Luke?
Luke's 11-1.
Who he lost in the UFC yet or no?
Yeah, he lost to Yuri Alcantara.
Armbar or?
I don't remember.
I think he was winning that fight, right?
He beat Maximo Blanco, who's a monster.
Well, I think I was at that fight.
Past his
lightweight or
prime. Past his
45?
prime. I think they're 45.
I was at the Luke Sanders fight. He was beating the shit out of him.
I got
It
offered a
was-
fight against that guy in Japan a while back.
Who?
Maximo.
Yeah. But
Maximo was scary in Japan.
I'm not fighting
He was
him.
scary in
juiced
Japan,
out.
man.
Yeah.
He was juiced out and just a monster.
And I heard out there they don't like the promotion. I heard they were stiffing a lot of guys. So I'm gonna go out there, get beat up by some guy who's
Was
that
that?
was mine.
That probably either Ryzen or Dream or
I think it was Dream.
Probably
What was the
Dream.
one before Risen. It was Dream.
Dream,
I think
yeah.
it was Dream.
All right, finally, Alexis Davis fighting Liz Carmouche. I like Carmouche in this fight. I think,
She's been out a long time.
but so is Davis. When was Davis' last
No,
fight?
Davis just fought
Yeah, she just fought
Ultimate
recently.
Fighter last year.
Who'd she beat?
She lost to Sarah McMahon. You were
Oh,
there.
McMahon killed her.
You were there.
Yeah. I was there.
We were
yeah.
there.
Yeah, the armbar.
I honestly thought McMahon
I mean,
was gonna
the
No, the arm
arm
triangle.
was
triangle.
going to dethrone Rousey. I thought it was going to be McMahon.
McMahon is.
I think McMahon now might be able to dethrone Rousey.
It's 100% mental with McMahon. She has all the
well, she
the
finally joined a
tools.
real camp too. She went over to Alpha Male now.
Yeah, but she lost her last fight against.
Caitlin Vieira.
Yeah, and she should have
Caitlin
won that.
Vieira's a
fight.
I feel like she
fucking
should
monster.
be. I
though.
feel like she should be already mentally tough just from a wrestling background. All she's like.
Vieira was in a #1 contender fight for the title until Jermaine dropped out.
I know, but the thing about Sarah is that she has these little mental lapses just for like split seconds in fights, and then ends up like getting like caught in some crazy weird move where you're just like, oh,
She all of a sudden just has dementia real quick and doesn't know where she is.
something happens.
The fight's over.
But you know, a lot of times for wrestlers, people assume that like because you're a great wrestler, it's going to translate right away, and a lot of times. Like I don't know if Sarah McMahon was the most natural wrestler, and same thing with the Olympic gold medalist who just won last week, beat Pettis, Cejudo. But they learn on the job. So now Cejudo is now finally coming to his own. I think it was too early for him to fight Johnson. I think he does better against Johnson now. Well, does he beat Demetrius Johnson? I don't know. This dude
Got to
is.
be Benavidez.
But Who? I was at that fight.
So was I.
I thought he beat Benavidez.
I know, but unfortunately on the record books it says different.
But I still think he has to. But that's another example of him not fighting smart. The guy's an Olympic wrestler, and he goes blow for blow with Benavidez. It's just,
and then he went out and knocked out Wilson Hayes.
And he destroyed Pettis. Anyway, so what do you got coming up, CB?
Moving next week. My girl and I are moving in together, getting a new, bigger apartment.
Nice.
And just been working at the shop and then getting ready just for New Year's and stuff. I've got a few plans.
Why don't you plug your shop, idiot?
It's Graffiti
The hostile show today.
Graffiti Pals
Got pissed off with
Tattoo.
that fucking Diego fight. You got him going.
Go on.
North Hollywood, California. Graffiti Pals Tattoo. Twitter and Instagram. Facebook. Graffiti Pals Tattoo. We did get a third artist. We may hire more. If you're a local artist, you got a following, you want to work, come on in, check us out. If you want to get an awesome tattoo, 4427 Lancashire Boulevard, North Hollywood, Graffiti Palace Tattoo. Abel and Muffy are there almost every day of the week. Vince, then you come in and get fucking tattooed, man, and we'll hook you up. Are you kidding?
My whole back's done. I have from Helmet Biceps.
Oh, yeah.
This is my buddy Curse that died on my forearm.
Nice. And
then on my leg, I have my New Zealand tat on my shin.
What do you have coming up?
Hopefully I'm gonna have a fight beginning of the year. I have been told I'm gonna fight very early next year.
Against who? An opponent?
No opponent yet, so that's why.
Very early meaning what?
I'm taking it with a grain of salt.
January.
So
you got what? 6 weeks to get ready.
Yeah, 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah, and then so hopefully that pulls through. I'm just working, training, hoping I get an opponent and do my damn thing.
What are you walking around at right now?
Stone.
I'm pretty light right now. I'm a little under 180. Normally I walk around about 185, 190 is my normal weight. Yeah, you know what? I get a lot of flack from people about cutting weight because I always talk shit. Like people that don't make weight, to me that's just them. Like unless it's someone like what's his name, Hendricks, who fought at welterweight that barely made the weight, but he could barely do it. You know what I mean? Sometimes
like
he missed, sometimes he didn't. Yeah, like. I mean, there's instances like that where that happens, but for the most part, like, cutting weight really isn't that hard. It's a pain in the ass and it fucking sucks, but I cut down from 190 most times to 155. So I don't understand, like, people saying, oh, I just couldn't drop the weight. It's like, no, you didn't have the fucking willpower to stop eating, you fat piece of shit.
That's
like,
what
control yourself.
I wanted to ask you guys, too. What do you think of Sajara Eubanks not making weight and then getting pulled from a title fight?
It's so ridiculous. I mean, that was the biggest fight of her life. She already almost missed weight twice. She then had like a month to make it because it wasn't like The Ultimate Fighter. You get out a month or two before they're done filming.
I think it might even be more than that.
It's hard on the Ultimate Fighter too because when you're on the Ultimate Fighter, they fight every 3 days. So it's like a fight, and the next day they announce a fight, and then 4 days. So yeah, so they fight, they announce a fight, weigh-ins, and then fight again. It's like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
And honestly, if I would have went on the Ultimate Fighter on that protocol, I would have did 170, 185. There's no way I would be able to cut that weight. There's
even Alvarez and Gaethje both said, we're not surprised she missed weight and she's out of the fight. And I'm like, 3 or 4 of her pro fights were at 135. Why all of a sudden is 125 a good idea when you know you can't make the weight?
Well, she was 2-2 and got the opportunity.
Opportunities,
yeah, but she was 2-2, but three of those 4 were at 135.
I know, but she's
killing herself.
I just think she didn't plan it out, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
Sucks. Andrew, what do you got coming up?
This weekend I'm doing... Yeah, right. I'm doing the Glory fights this weekend. I'll be doing the pre-fight show, and then we have a couple underfight cards. Then
From here?
Yeah. Yep, and then tonight I'm going to Fighter and the Kid live. Checking that out with Eve Edwards. And
I think that's pretty cool.
I've never seen any footage of it online or anything, so I'm kind of curious what a live podcast in front of a crowd is going to be like.
All right, so I will be at the Hollywood Laugh Factory.
We'll make sure we get this up by January 1st. We'll get this up by January.
So I will be up the Hollywood Laugh Factory this Friday night, 9:45, as well as the Long Beach Laugh Factory this Thursday night at 7:30, and I'm going to be in Fresno, California, tomorrow night at Fresno at 8:00 at the Standard in Fresno, and then Las Vegas, the Stratosphere in Las Vegas, December 25th to the 31st. hit me up if you're going to the UFC. That 219. It's a good card, actually.
I want to get on that one. That's December 30th one, right?
Yeah.
I was trying to get on that.
Khabib.
They're still looking for fights.
Are they?
They still have, I think, one or two to fill.
I've been trying to get on my card since my last one.
I'm pissed that Gokhan Saki got injured, though. That made me sad.
But Khabib's on the card.
Yeah, Khabib against Edson Barboza in the co-main event.
Wow, it's going to be good. Hopefully he makes weight.
He's slated, but we'll see if he actually makes weight.
You may want to be at 155, homie.
Yeah, I know. I am. Actually, I could probably cut that weight easily and take that fight. I would like to fight Barboza. That'd be a fun fight, I think.
I'm in. I'll definitely watch it. So, thank you guys for watching the MMA Roasted podcast. Thank you to all the guests that showed up. Gerald Harris, as well as Tatiana Suarez. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Pluto TV.
And thank you, Diego Sanchez.
And thanks to you, Diego Sanchez. Take care. Bye-bye.